Cover Liberia like nobody else does. This is Spoon 107.5 FM.
It's 107.5, 107.5, 107.5, Spoon FM.
From the top of Wologisi to the beaches of Maryland, we cover Liberia like nobody else does. This is Spoon 107.5 FM.
Yes, sir. A special one from the CEO, stand with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band. Charges on the beat.
To the spoon to get your information. To the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon, spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, moreover, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You from Vanjama, Maryland, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. If you eat keep my graduate, my brother, to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. What I want? This one you got today.
Spoon TV. Spoon.
This one you got today.
Spoon.
Listen.
Spoon TV. Spoon.
Ba-da-ba-di-da-di-da.
Spoon.
Skiddy-dee-dee-da-ba-do.
Spoon TV. Spoon Entertainment.
Go to there. Go to there.
On the spoon to get
Yes,
your
I
information.
well.
On the spoon to be found.
Yes, sir. A special one from the CEO, stand with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band. Charges on the beat.
On the spoon to get your information. To the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon television. Spoon radio station.
Spoon to tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, moreover, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, Fonjema, Maryland, Tuto Spoon. Yeah, Tuto Spoon. If you eat K-pop, congratulate my brother Tuto Spoon. You got a Spoon TV, you got a Spoon Radio, Tuto Spoon. Yeah, Tuto Spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. What you want? This one you got today.
Spoon TV. Spoon
This one you got today. Listen.
Spoon TV. Spoon
Balabadigadega. Skidibidibidabado.
Spoon TV. Spoon Entertainment.
Kua. Listen, go to there. Go to there.
On the spoon.
And of course, you're listening to Spoon 107.5 FM.
Spoon.
Also, we're live on Fabric 101.1, Super 95.5, and a host of other stations across Liberia, including Punch 106.7 FM.
Go to there.
We're also live on Premium FM 98.1 there in Bong County. And also there in Bummy and Trust 88.7 FM, and a host of other stations across Liberia. Live on Spoon TV, Liberia's biggest online TV platform. Today is the first day of November 2023. Happy new month to each and every one of you, and welcome to Liberia's biggest talk show. This is the Spoon Talk, the ever-staying Spoon Talk, the unshakable Spoon Talk, the Spoon Talk that's not going anywhere. Spoon Talk will remain. Spoon Talk is here to stay. So no matter what you feel, what you think, how you feel, how you think, Spoon is going to remain. All right, folks, you're welcome to Spoon Talk. Wherever it is you're listening to us from across Liberia, whether from Lofa or there in Maryland, or you there in Maryland in the USA, or you in South Korea, or better still, you there in Australia down under, I'd love to welcome you. This is your station. This is your show. All right, so as we do every day, my name is Diamond Slanger. I'm producing tonight, and as we do on the show every night, we ask you what's on your mind, what's happening, what do you want to talk about, what's the burning issue, what's the burning national issue that you want to talk about, what's on your mind. That's how we kickstart the show, and we'll go to the phone lines as usual. We'll start with the local callers, those here in Liberia, and then we'll transition and take calls from overseas as well. The rest of the panelists are going to join in on the show later on. So wherever you are, hope your radio batteries are charged, or better still, like we used to do back in the day, would be, it's not advisable though, but that's what we used to do. What we used to do is to bite the battery, to make sure that you get the extra energy from it to listen. Or better still, you put it, on top of the roof. You put it on the zinc for, I don't know, whoever told us that when sun touches the battery, it will energize it. But somehow that used to work for us, or we thought it worked. But anyway, hope your devices are charged and ready so that you can listen to Spoon Talk as well and be informed as you always are. So let's go to the phone lines and you tell us what's on your mind. What's on your mind? What is it that you want to talk about? A lot of things happening across the country politically. A lot of things happening in the country politically. Yeka Koluba has said he's going to campaign using an Apache motorbike. Bulletproof. My first time to see bulletproof Apache motorbike. Also, he branded it to be that he's going to use that bike to cut across the country and campaign for the Unity Party. Said whatever it is that he voiced out, he was angry, but he's not going anywhere. He's going to campaign, for the Unity Party as well. And on tomorrow, according to official information, the All Liberian Coalition Party, ARCOP for short, is going to be endorsing JMB's bid of becoming president of Liberia. ARCOP, we're seeing different things happening, social media space, people saying, well, there's not ARCOP, there's not independent ARCOP and all of that. But ARCOP has said tomorrow at 2 p.m., other announcements said 11, but what I've seen as official, 2 p.m., they will be endorsing the Unity Party as well. There's some talk about how many members signed that resolution, taking ARCOP over to the Unity Party. Well, we'll be having some of their people speaking to us, I've been told, and they'll be giving us more details concerning that as well. But talking about that, no, those are just few things. Remember, tomorrow is Thanksgiving Day in Liberia as well. The president has declared tomorrow as Thanksgiving Day as per his executive proclamation. By proclamation, the president has declared tomorrow a National Thanksgiving Day. So you need to give thanks, to God, whether you are a Christian, whether you are Muslim, a Buddhist, whichever religious belief you are of, to give thanks on tomorrow as well. But with all that being said, those are just a few of the things happening in the country. But let's go to the phone lines now. The numbers to call locally: 0777-771075, 0777-771075, 0555-101075. Those are the numbers to call. 1 minute per caller, so that we get as many callers as possible. Hello.
Hello.
Kindly reduce the volume of whatever device you're using to listen to us. The feedback is terrible. Hello. Okay, we lost that person. So when you're calling, kindly reduce the volume of your radio or whatever device you're using to listen, so that we cannot have feedbacks. Hello.
Yeah, this is calling from Chiasevo.
Let's hear you out.
I want to remind this new partisan is that I want them to focus in the southeast, because we have some mistake in the southeast according to the lawmaker. The division took a lot of votes in the southeast, and not supposed to be like that. I want to focus on the southeast, most especially. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Let's take this person. Hello.
Hello, Tam. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, and you?
Yeah, I'm fine. My name is Robert Inquest, calling from Chocolate City.
Go ahead, sir.
Yes, that much I want to know about that the video game, because actually tomorrow I'm playing, but actually we can win. I don't know what it costs.
Chief, that question SNW and the rest of the guys who do the radio game can better answer you. Yeah, if I give you information, I will be giving you 100% information.
Yeah,
just be guessing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I want to get on your talk about business.
Go ahead, 1 minute.
Yes, because there are some people that have been telling us that all the players are supposed to CDC, and right now, I'm saying that all the players are supposed to the party and you start campaigning. So it's something that I want to show. Just let them get clear to offer to know.
I just told you, Yaka Koluba, Honorable Representative of District 10, on today had a press conference where he said he's going to campaign for the Unity Party rigorously, not just in Cape Mount, but parts of Grand Bassa and other counties. That's what he said today. So I don't know what further clarity you need again.
Sir. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Let's take this person here. Hello.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm doing great. Let's hear you out, please.
Yeah, my name is Arthur Montana, call from Fresno.
Go ahead, Arthur.
Yeah, let me just inform the Unity Party. District number 3, the area of vote as the fingerprints in fully, the fully area will never get something there. So those who can write there where the invalid vote came from. So the Unity Party, they kind of stress on a point to voting, there you will get more error from there again.
So I didn't get your point really clear. So you want to go over that, please?
I'm saying, this one number 3, the police station, the area vote as so the fingerprint in, we never get it from there. Yeah, those who get that were using pen, and they were the invalid vote.
So you didn't have the ink pad. That's what you're saying. The one that is where to put your finger in, you press it, and then you press it on the sheet.
Thank you. So we those who can write it, they said more difficult to carry out. So most people can write.
All right, that's a good observation. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's take this person. Hello.
Hello, Tama.
Yes, sir.
Good evening. My name is Jay Manuel Japan. I call from Virginia.
Good evening to you, sir. Hello. Okay, we seem to have lost that caller there. Kindly call us back. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Let's hear you out.
Good evening.
Good evening to you.
This is the group of I'm calling from Bajo Fabi tonight.
Go ahead.
Thank you for the time. Let me, you know, the president about contradiction. I thought the government they say he the best president in Liberia, so he said he did for the song. He said we will break it about it. He said you are very loud, you do get good thing for her. So why not the opinion of us? Let them leave you wait and see. Your best people, oh no, you go to I see the people passing out again. Just be laughing. Vote number 2, vote number 2, vote number. Because we are people all know the man. So you leave us. We don't want the crowd who know also. Then they leave the man very Westfield. Then that Westfield will see Westfield versus Labrador people. Road versus Labrador people. Will come October November 14. You go on, you come out. The next president, we have started resolve. The representative what guy said, because when I said, you know, opposition, that when I even put it, the number is 28%. That only to you get 28 with collaboration with the two other parties. But we're going to go all the way for the TDs. So to tell you, say, the same people, the people that are talking battery, you the young man, you running behind the door for you to go and run, or you pray, if you pray to, if you go and run. So no amount of cheating will save you, no amount of endorsement. People endorsement more. Every person but I want they all get a political career because Costa will not be relevant.
Thank you.
Opposition will not take you. So thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you as well for stating what's on your mind. Hello. Hello.
Tamo?
Yes, sir.
I'm good for the brother.
What's up, Chief?
And you are speaking with my name is Mohammed. To you tonight from District 16.
Go ahead, Mohammed.
Mobisa. It's cool.
Mohammed, are you there?
I think let me say thanks to for them coming with an endorsement to select the court, the rescue team, called the endorsement. You know, it is a very great program tomorrow. And I think the executive committee member then from the Accord angle going to be at 15 county because we noticed that I think the either king, I think, they have more population in the country most of in other countries. So we want to pray indeed that the join the campaign team to see our best to camp. Lofa, Cape Man, all of the Western countries to see our best. GMB can be able to take over the country come January. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's take this person here. Hello. Kindly reduce the volume of your radio, please. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Let's hear you out. The feedback is terrible. You want to reduce the volume of your radio a bit?
Okay then. Thank you very much.
Thank you too. Let's hear you out.
Chairman of Revolutionary Brigade in Chicago. Let me congratulate my revolutionary leader, Jacob Korba, for coming on board. It is time for us to rescue Mama Nabira because Mama Nabira has been under the practice of these evil men and women in this country. So I will tell him bravo for coming to join us to even move forward as we follow the struggle in the Southeastern that will make sure JMB become the president of the country and deliver Mama Labiro to the people of Labiro. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's take this other person here and then we'll take two more callers from Liberia. We switch over to the WhatsApp line to speak to Liberians in the diaspora and Liberians watching via Spoon TV. Hello. Hello. Let's hear you out.
Yeah, come on. My cousin, I want to ask for Rufus and Joseph Sukukone and Mr. Raw. Yeah.
Oh, that one on your mind?
Yeah.
Okay, let me answer that particular question. So, Rufus, Joseph, and Emmanuel have all decided to, pursue their careers at different institutions and in different ventures. So in short, they no longer working here at the Spoon Network.
Okay.
All right. So that answered your question.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. So let's take this other person here. 0777-77-1075, 0555-101075. Hello. Hello. That person probably on party. AMU graduation on the call. Hello.
How you doing?
I'm fine. Let's hear you out, please.
This is David Gader from Sopinate.
You're welcome, Chief. What's on your mind?
Well, on my mind, people say they have been doing well more than any other president in Liberia. Why they are running the community buying and voting car? Yeah, some of them were running alarm and alarm blew on them.
Oh, alarm? Which alarm now?
They were buying car.
In which community?
District 4, mostly black area here to all the way to Action and so on.
That soul cleaning area you're talking about?
So cleaning area.
Oh. So that who blow alarm there now?
The residents blow alarm, they pack up and left.
Oh. All right. All right. Thank you, Pap. Thank you. All right. So that's all the time we have to take calls here. Liberia, the WhatsApp number to call is +231-770-304519. I do see Dwalu and the people in the background, as well as Dr. Francine Chinowith Richardson is also in the background, sporting her glasses. I'll not tell you what color she's wearing. She will come, you see her yourself. Dwalu, I don't know if they kicked him out of the studio and relegated him to the kitchen, but he seemed to have fallen in love with the kitchen this week. Dwalu, what's really happening in our kitchen? Yeah. Dwalu.
Bring me on. Let me do what happened in the kitchen.
Yeah, but I'm bringing you on for some reason. Okay. Oh, you might brass me the studio equipment for the to the kitchen because
the downstairs is getting cold and it's not up to the heating standard that I want. So until they can get it fixed, I decide to use up here. I want to be cool. I want to be comfortable. That's all. That's a little different.
Oh, okay. But you brought some of the studio equipment down.
No, that the kitchen computer. So that different computer down there. So it's the same thing. That different system.
All right. Let me take this person on the WhatsApp line. Hello.
Hello, Damo. How are you? This is Israel Jackson calling from Toledo, Ohio, the United States.
I'm fine, Israel. Let's hear you. What's on your mind?
Let me first say hello to the Liberian people, and also to my partisan of the Unity Party. I just want to say, look, let us go up there and vote Joseph Mamboaka comes November 14th. I don't want for the Liberian to be distracted about what Costa going to say or what he's saying about JMB. Costa right now, he already lost respect. He already lost integrity from the Liberian people. So I'm urging all of my Liberians, because I have a Mike Gibby. The Mike Gibbians, let us go up there and do it again for our old man, so that Liberia can be a better place, that tomorrow that we can come down and begin to live the life that we'll be able to live. We can stay out 12 midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, and nobody can intimidate us. And also, too, I want to ask you concerning our September birthday club. Let me know. Okay, thank you, Dama.
Okay, thank you for calling. All right, so let's take this next person. The WhatsApp number to call is +231-770-304519. The number is pinned on the screen as well. For those of you watching Spoon TV, that is the number on the screen there for you to call and tell us what's on your mind. Talking about what's on your mind, Dr. Richardson, when you're ready, I can bring you on, ma'am. When you are, just give me a thumbs up and I'll bring you. Okay, so you ready? So call on the WhatsApp number and let us know what's on your mind. Good afternoon to you, ma'am. Doc.
Yes. Oh, sorry. I'm definitely multitasking today. How are you doing, Dwalu and Diamond.
I'm doing great. How are you as well?
I'm doing well. A little tired today. I had a grandson in my bed last night. He can't sleep. Why? He's kicking me over, so I couldn't sleep. So, yeah. And then on top of that, we bought him his own tablet. It came in the mail today, so I'm trying to get it ready. Me and his papa trying to get it ready before he comes from daycare today because he can be disturbing my work phone too bad. Every time he comes, the first thing he grabs is my work phone. So that's what his papa trying to set up. So that's what we are. But I'm doing well today. Working slowly. So I don't know how you.
I can't complain. I can't complain. We're the fortunate few. I tell you that much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm all right.
Yeah. Dama, how about you? How everything over there?
Super, Dr. Richardson. You don't complain. I'm okay. You're talking about the grandson, and what ran to my mind was the fact that when he's around, you become you making me thought, but he's not around, you be missing him, asking when you coming over, right?
I tell you, that's so true. Now I gotta lock my office door because if he comes in, he's gonna bust right in. And then today I made a post about I have 4 daughters, and my handbag can go, my pocketbook can go, my perfume can go. Yeah, see how my hair looking bad today. I can't find none of my hair products today.
They harvesting.
They can take it. They come in the morning when I'm sleeping in my bathroom. They take it and put it in the bag. They're gone. So between a grandson and a daughter, then I know, I don't know what they're trying to do to me. But somebody said it's okay. One day, when they all leave my house, I'll be missing them.
When you start suffering from empty nest syndrome, you'll be like, who will come visit you? But we got callers on the line. Go back to the lines and talk to people to state what's on their minds. Hello.
Hey, Diamond. Hello. My name is Momo Tambatule, calling from Atlanta, Georgia. Hey, what's on my mind? What's on my mind is my attention is particularly drawn to the podcast made by my good friend and brother Henry Costa. He made a podcast, and for me, I saw that coming as premature, and insinuating that people, in the diaspora want to harm our son, little Costa. That child should be in no way be placed in the kind of political political war that is currently ongoing. I believe Costa should know better. Should be well informed. That this should be applauded by those in CDC, because once they get him angry and fiery, they can use him to always come on social media to attack our ambassador Joseph Yuma Boaka, who has nothing to do with what's currently going on. So I just urge my friend Henry Costa to be very cautious and to take our son, small Henry, out of the limelight. This kid is innocent. He has nothing to do with this kind of political fight. That we should focus on the issue. If they want him to fight for CDC, they should clearly state to him, things that they want him to come on every time. Because I believe that every time they believe that when he comes out and speaks, makes a derogatory comments against Ambassador Joseph Boakai, they believe in their own mind that they score political points. So every time that they have to set this guy up and anger him, it gives them political point. But to the contrary, we in the rescue mission, we are focused on the mission, and the mission is to elect Ambassador Joseph Boakai and Jeremiah Kwanku as the next president and vice president of the Republic of Liberia. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's take this next person here on the WhatsApp line. Hello. Hello. Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Let's hear you out.
This is Diamond. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, and you?
My name is Hennessy Colley.
Go ahead, sir.
And I have a suggestion and a strategy that I want to suggest to the Unity Party, since it is now only 2 parties going for the runoff. And this has to do with how a poll watcher sits to observe the voting. I think what they did in the first round, they should change that way of sitting far away and looking on and not being on the table to observe the voter as they come and present their voter registration card. I think this time around, since it is two parties going to the poll, Unity Party should suggest or insist to the NEC that the NEC representative sit in the middle of the table while Unity Party have their candidate on the left side or the right side and CDC on the other side. So that as the voter comes to present their cards to the NEC representative who sit in the middle, both the Unity Party candidate and the CDC candidate will see the
I'm gonna let you answer that guy before you
look
go
at the
away.
person's face and show that this person is actually the person that is coming to vote, other than sitting far away and looking on as the next person is the only one on the table, receiving the card. Because what we've been hearing, NEC is being dominated by seditions. They hire a group of seditions to watch to NEC to do the job. But if you have a Unity Party representative by the NEC candidate or the NEC representative and the CDC person on the other end, all of them will see the card at the same time and be able to verify that this is the person that came to vote.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Okay, give me
All
one
right, so
second.
take three more
Thank you.
callers and then we wrap up the first segment. Hello. So the WhatsApp number is on the screen. You can call and tell us what's on your mind. Hello.
Hello, Dama. How you doing?
I'm doing.
Yeah, thanks so much. I appreciate your hard work, all of you guys. I'm Alex Menebo calling from Minnesota. I just want to make a short statement concerning the delusional guy, Eric Costa. I saw him this morning on a podcast. It says people in America threatening his son, 7-year-old son. I don't know. In America, I think the police will take care. Nobody threatening his son. And the next thing, I want for the Unity Party guy, Costa. He said that tomorrow is holiday. Friday, I will demonstrate. I will get one of the nastiest press statement against Joseph Walker. Why is he doing that? In political disagreement, you don't have to insult the person. Just think on the issue. But the guy is like insulting. I mean, he made himself look like a child. See, you want it. You say you wanted to be vice president. How you going to behave? You are not selected to be vice president. Who knows tomorrow, next 6, 5, 10 years, you could be at that level, but it will start retrospecting your character, how rude you are, how arrogant you are, how insulting you are. Who will elect you? He's very rude.
Okay,
I used to like him. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm very angry with him.
All right. So one more person, and then we call it a day. On the first segment of What's on Your Mind, there will definitely be time allotted for you to call again. Hello.
Yes, hello.
Yes, let's hear you out, please.
Yes, I would like to say good morning from the Middle East. I'm in Dubai.
Okay.
Yeah. I would just like to talk to my people back home, especially Unity Party partisans.
You like, sir? Go ahead.
To vote JMB, Liberians as a whole in general, I want you people to vote JMB. JMB is a way forward. We not at peace. Every day, our phone rings more than 5, 10, 15 times a day. People need money. People need food. Our people are starving. Our people are dying from hunger and starvation. This government ain't done nothing. We need our people to come out in a very large number to vote this man. Let them express their anger in our vote. I am begging each and every one of them. This is not about trap. This is not about, I don't know where you're from. As a matter of fact, once you're Liberians and you got your voting card, please do your business. Go on the 14th. Go and express your anchor through your vote. Do it for your future. Do it for the future of your children. Please, I am begging you, my people. You do it for the future of your children. Thank you so much, Diamond.
Thank you. All right, so that's all the time. Sorry to take calls on the What's on Your Mind segment. Definitely, as I said, you'll be given time again during the latter stages of the show to call in and weigh your opinions on what will be discussed by the panelists on the show tonight. So I see Conor Gray is in the background as well. Let me bring him on. Dr. Richardson, Dwalu, Conor Gray, it's all yours. I'm just in the back when I'm needed. Just holler at your boy. All right.
Dwalu, go ahead.
Okay, Damo, thank you so much, man. It's a great show today. We're gonna try to give you guys a great show. But before I forget, a caller call into the show about proximity to the NEC workers. I want to rest assured, for you to rest assured, UP has done one better. What they've done, when the person comes in, we're going to inspect the voting card. CDC is going to inspect the voting card before it actually goes to the election commission's employee, and it's going to be verified on the FRR by everybody. So the proximity can be much closer than what it was before. So rest assured, we're going to make those verifications. But Dr. Francine, before we actually begin, I'd love to recognize a few people.
Yes.
Especially my early birds. I would love to do that just for the sake of it. Race K, welcome to the show. Andrew Batsu, welcome to the show. Willa Yanga, welcome to the show. Mariama Siruba, welcome to the show. Gabriel Atrish, welcome to the show. Benego Senkolo, welcome. Gaydwa Zeze Flomo, welcome. Gertrude Closet, JMB, welcome. Christian Lardner, welcome to the show. Asi Uzma Regina Bungar, welcome to the show. Moses Kamara, Tukon Dixon, Frites Winnie, welcome to the show. Oh, my second wife, Yata Jala. How you doing, Mama?
Oh, you got second wife in America?
I'm looking for the third one, yeah. Clarence Benson, Rose Higar. Actually, my wife approved of this one, so
you need to move to Idaho or somewhere.
Yeah, Florida. I'm moving to Utah. Florida, Charlotte Johnson, Native Flomo, welcome to the show. Asatu Kamara. T Trick SK Soiree, welcome. BV Carson, welcome to the show. Seyon Kim, welcome. I see Sanko Lugon, welcome to the show. Grace Falconian, welcome. Garmin Saras Bido, welcome to the show. Wasilia Don Senior, how you doing? Vaseyo Donzo, welcome to the show. Justina Nziga, welcome to the show. Rose City, look, everybody, man. And my girl Sarah Fakate, I'll never forget you. Welcome to the show as well. We want to welcome everybody. Let's talk Liberia. Let's do everything we can to make sure we continue to elevate this location. And I will do my 2 minutes and pass it over to Colonel Gray. Look, Liberia, we would talk, and most of the last caller from the Middle East says something. He said you have to vote as though your lives depend on this issue. And because, do you know why? It depends on it. Your lives depend on it. You have to vote like there is no tomorrow, because there is possibly no tomorrow if you vote President Weah back into power. President Weah is not the right man for this country. President Weah will endanger you and your children. I repeat this every day. Some people say, oh, Dwadu, why do you say this every day? Because I want my people to hear me out. And I want my people to understand what is at stake. What is at stake? It is the very survival of our democracy. That's what is at stake. Our own survivability is at stake. President Weah is a danger to this country. I will continue to insist on this. Look at your country. Look at everything this man has done for the past 6 years. He has not governed this place. According to the Americans, he has a kleptocratic arrangement. He has nothing but rogues and thieves in his government. They're stolen with total impunity. Total impunity. Okay, people will come and say, oh, corporate crimes in America are synonymous with corrupt and public crimes in a third world location. I believe they're far removed from the reality of the times. There are massive distinctions between public crimes in a third world country and a corporate crime in a developed society where those crimes are heavily prosecuted. In the third world country, these guys go with total impunity. They destroy lives. They actually deny people of basic necessities. They deny the society of adequate infrastructure for the people to develop in that location. corporate crime in the developed society is addressed, it does not have the same ramifications as though they were public crime in the third world country. In a corporate environment, maybe you harm a few hundred or a few thousand people. In a public environment, in the third world country, where these crimes are committed with total impunity, it harms millions and millions of people. It sent a lot of people to the early graves. It lowered the standard of living. Don't compare the two. Do not allow people to come and make up crazy stuff that they do not understand. For Liberia to grow, we must find people who have burned the midnight candle to grow in the society. Honorable Boyka is the way. Given these two choices we have, Honorable Boyka is by 100 years different. He's by far a better candidate compared to President Weah. There's nothing that's going to change in the President Weah because he does not have the capacity to change that. Once again, to the audience, welcome to the show, and I will send it over to Colonel Gray for his 2 minutes.
I'm on the show. All right, gentlemen and lady, good day. Definitely. Dr. Richardson, good day. And was my brother Dwalu. Thank you so much. And I think we are the once more at the crossroad. Like I said, some of us, in as much as the two advanced parties to the elections in the runoff were initially never our choices. Definitely we have an obligation as a citizen of Liberia to, sort of be softer to one of two parties. And I've made it clear increasingly that in no uncertain term would I support the second bid of President Weah, because even before becoming president, I did not have the slightest feeling that he was going to do anything better anyway. So I made it clear from day one when he started singing songs about becoming president. I just knew it was all about himself, and he was taking advantage of our people's will to elect just anybody who they believe could represent their interest. Some of us are farsighted. I didn't see any substance in him, even from his days of playing for the national team. But it was the right of our people to test him, to feel him, and see what he was going to do, whether he was going to do anything different from the rest of his predecessors, those who were before him. I think he has come to their own attention now that either you're just adamant in your choices at first, or in your choice of this man at first, or probably you're just ashamed, and so you just want to continue that on that path. Just as we say, you have become increasingly proud in your own choice of making Mr. Weah the president. I didn't see anything that happened in the last 6 years. They did some window dressing things, put things out there for people to look like. And the recent one, I saw people, yelping about a park he has constructed along the PHP Way. I could have suggested something more substantial for that area, like how we had Hotel Africa by the beach back in the days that employed so many people, and it brought so many tourists on our seashores. So many traffic, that whole entire PHP would have been one of the most economic hubs of our state. You go put a recreation park when people can't even afford a cup of rice. How can you play when you're hungry? So it just shows how this guy thinks. And people are there, oh, we've never seen this kind of development before. You have lights.
I'm gonna play that Gibson in. Sorry, Reverend Gray. Somebody play that Gibson in.
All right, Reverend Gray. If you're done, we're going to pass over Dr. Francine to do a 2 minutes.
Just a minute. I think I got 30 more seconds. So I'm saying this. I'm saying this because I just want to make sure that I'm going to be continue. I'll continue to say, I will lower my guard against the UP bid for the in the runoff. That is not a declaration that I support the Omen, but I will not oppose him either. And so, in diplomacy, that we call that my friend in disguise. So take it at that level.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Chief. Dr. Francine.
Yeah, it's good to see you guys today. Dwalu, I think you should write a paper on the relationship between integrity and white collar crime. You are speaking to that in the U.S.
Okay.
You are speaking to that, making some comparison, because I think we need to be educated. And I'm not in no way condoning white collar crime, but I like what you were saying. And Remy Gray, you had me laughing when you talked about where the park is in the PHP community. I was imagining what a beautiful hotel, that could have been placed over there. There's actually a restaurant, a very beautiful restaurant in the area. I think it's called Morovia Restaurant, and it's actually not even ran by Liberians. I think it's a European owner or some foreign country owned. It's right by the ocean. You can eat and see the ocean breeze coming through. That could have been an annexed to the hotel. So I can see where your mind is going from an economic standpoint. As everybody knows on this show, I maintain my neutrality, and my neutrality means many things. But I look forward to Liberia, where majority of the people are working, perhaps employed by the hospitality industry, as Remy Gray has mentioned. I look forward to a hospital. I have had so many relatives in Liberia died, and I believe they could have been at least kept alive if we had the proper housing equipment, hospital equipment, such as, even something as simple as a modern bed. I don't know if anyone have seen the type of bed that we have in the hospitals. Something as simple as, a heart monitor machine, something as simple as even just a television or phone in the rooms. Sometimes it takes the comfort of life to keep you alive. I look forward to schools, school with appropriate student-teacher ratio. I'm not talking about one teacher to about 50 students sitting on the ground. I look forward to a well-prepared curriculum. There's so many people with so many expertise that can prepare a curriculum that will be up to par to this modern world. I look forward to teachers who are continually getting continuing education. I'm in the process of getting my continuing education credits right now. I have to get at least 30 every year, and it has to be in specific courses: child abuse, suicidal prevention, and it has to be done by the end of November. And so I have to pay the state to maintain my license, the state of Pennsylvania. And I want that to be able to happen. I know school teachers in the United States tend to get continuing education as well. I look forward to computers in the school. I can't believe my last baby, who's in high school, they have access to computer. They can even bring their tablet home.
Yeah.
So I look forward to that kind of Liberia. I look forward to infrastructure development, electricity, primary thing. There's such a disparity between who can get electricity, who cannot get electricity, depending on where you live in Morovia. Single area, if you are in, when I was there was electricity. We didn't have to worry. And the minute the electricity ran out, it switched to the generator. So I didn't skip a beat in terms of electricity. But I want everybody to be able to have ongoing electricity. There's so many opportunities we can take advantage of. Solar panel, the solar system. Okay, Liberia got a lot of sun. We can do that. Windmill, we can do that. Rural connectivity is another thing that I look forward to. That expose the southeastern region. I think someone was on the show mentioned how beautiful that area is. I like to just drive there. Just take a 1 or 2 days, and it's not that far. I don't believe it's that far.
No.
It used to take 8 or 9 hours to get to Nima before the road was paved. I know that because my two brothers were born on the highway of Nima. My mom was trying to get to Lamco to have them, and she had them on the road because the road was so bad. But now it takes us less than I think maybe 3-4 hours to get
Yep.
to Nima.
Yep.
We can actually leave Monrovia in the morning, get to Nima, and come back. So I'm sure if we did that, it would be like, it would be like going from here to maybe Atlanta to go to the southeast region. I'm thinking, or maybe less than that, maybe North Carolina. But I want that. And I really want to see government emails, Liberia.gov. I don't want to see no Yahoo, Gmail. I can't even get in touch with my own representative. I got to go through the personal phone or the personal email, or either somebody got to tell me, what the numbers are. Liberians are supposed to be able to speak and send letters to their representative whenever they want to and however they want to do it. You don't have to wait to say, oh, somebody please give me somebody's number in order for me to communicate my desires to them. I look forward to a growing, booming economic where a leader of bringing investors, utilize our agriculture. We have fertile lands. Tourism. Like I started off. Remy Grid started off the hotel. Big flying from here to Liberia could take approximately. I know my first flight was 10 hours.
10 hours.
We can have students here going for the spring break in Liberia. They're looking for different places. So I look forward to a leader who's innovative and thinking to make our country a more deserving Liberia. So
Thank you, Dr. Francine. I want to say this. You made a couple of points before I go back over the brother Colonel Gray. Liberia is approximately the size of the state of Ohio. So you can go anywhere in the state of Ohio and come back the same day. So there is nowhere in Liberia, if we have decent quality roads, that you cannot go and come back the same day. So we are that kind of country. And another thing I want to point out, you mentioned about kids having computers, etc. How are we going to expect Liberians' kids to compete on equal footing internationally if we don't adequately prepare them? This is the kind of infrastructure we're talking about. But Colonel Gray, I want to say this to you. Front Page Africa published an article today where they're talking about cash for support. So everybody's trying to support either President Weah or Honorable Boykai. And it seems the current administration under President Weah literally just throwing cash everywhere. What does that do to our democracy? Having all this cash being thrown around, Colonel Gray. I will go last on this question, but what does that do to our democracy? Is it good, bad, ugly? You got 2 minutes, man.
Before you start, Colonel Gray, I know that Mr. Gibson was in the back.
Yes, I forgot that.
Can we please bring him in, please?
I don't know what Dama is in the back there to bring Mr. Gibson on.
Dama might be there.
Dama, you there? But while we're waiting for Dama to answer, Mr. Gibson, Colonel Gray, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, firstly, it's illegal. If we unravel our laws, electoral laws, undue influence, and it violates our campaign finance law as well. If you have to bribe someone for their vote, that is corruption in one sense. And then it also it goes against our electoral laws. Just out of the top, I can tell you that it is the right of every citizen to vote with their conscience. That conscience means you should not be able to influence them ordinarily. Of course, you can come and sell your platform. So it was a fine line when we joined these electoral laws about bribing someone for their vote. It's like going to a government office to transact a business and you paying someone under the table because you want to jump the line. Here you can do that, but you can do that openly because it goes to the general fund. So that is one thing. And then secondly, it gives us the kind of leaders that we do not intend to be in our public spaces. If Mr. Weah will have to bribe people to vote him into office again, whereas he should have just tried to explain to them what he did in his first term, appeal to their consciences, which is the right way to do it, my brother. That means he's violating the laws while he's trying to get reelected. And we'll end up with a Mr. Weah that
Yeah,
that
but Colonel Gray,
not
before
have
you go
a
deeper,
mandate.
let me hit you one more time because I think you're getting away from the main question. If President Weah is using money to entice people, what does that say about the way he think about them? This is the main core of the question.
Well, I hate to use the word silly. I think he thinks it looks them in a condescending way to say he I can influence our people with money and influence them with gift, and they'll still vote for me. And if he sits at the door of our coffers, imagine how many individuals will be bribed for him to come back into power. But I think Mr. Weir, I think it was Abdullah who said this president has this style of influencing our democracy by empowering people as opposed to institution. The institution he should have empowered was his record. That when people see his record, they don't have to think about bribing. And I think he consider our people silly that they don't have the common intelligence to choose him based on his record. Rather, he can still influence their money. And
All right.
again, that's not legal.
Okay. Well, first of all, that is illegal. I know you're trying to sugarcoat this, but let me be direct. When President Weah uses your money that should be paving roads, building schools, building hospitals to bribe you to keep it in power, he's disrespecting you. He's insulting you. This is not something that we should sugarcoat. We should not allow people we elect to influence us in a way that actually disadvantages the country. This is exactly what President Weah is doing. So when President Weah uses money to get your vote, take the money. Take the money, but do not vote for him, because if you vote for him, you're encouraging this behavior. Dr. Francine, I will pose the same question to you. What does that say about President Weah and the way he thinks about Liberians, not using his vision, his influence, and say, listen, this is what I've done over the last 6 years. Vote for me for this reason, but he's enticing them with cash. What does that say about the way he thinks about Liberians?
Yes, Dwala, answer your question, but Mr. Fagon and also, okay, great, thank you. I was just going to say, you're in the back. President Weah thinks that he can control Liberians. He thinks that Liberians do not have the capacity to think for themselves. He thinks that, he can come in and break the laws, and, we have not done anything in the past, so he can continue to do that. This is not healthy for our country. He thinks he can tell the international body that contributed to our elections, so to hell with you. Let me use the word, I don't care what you think. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And if he's coming as the president who's supposed to be a model citizen, any leader who's at that level is expected to be a model citizen. In fact, you're citizen in chief, and you're already breaking the law, as you're stating, Dwalu, by buying the election, giving motorbikes, giving money, to people, so that it can vote in your favor. It is completely inappropriate, illegal, completely illegal. He thinks very badly about Liberians. And I don't know if I want to keep that kind of person to be my mentor, who's going to set an example for young people and older people in the country. Somebody who breaks the law.
Thank you. I'll go to my brother Gibson here with the same question. Brother Gibson, let me say this to you. A lot of Liberians will say this is normal practice. Ellen Johnson, Salif Dili, Tolbert Dili. You have no evidence to show that President Weah is using money, even though everybody knows this in Liberia. How do you respond to this, Brother Gibson, that everybody in the country sees the CDC administration using money to influence vote across the country or get people to support them? Does that help our society? And what does that say about President Weah and the way he thinks about Liberian citizens?
I guess you knew exactly what I was going to ask you. Is there any empirical evidence that we can show that anybody has received money to endorse President Weah? Or have anybody confessed that they received money to support President Weah? For me personally, where I stand on issue, I cannot change. If anybody is using money to woo votes, I am against that. If you are using money to bribe people to vote for you, I am against that. But I'd like to see some empirical evidence. There are some people who may come to support the current president because they believe that they can get jobs, which is in politics. I mean, people do that all the time, not just Liberia. Almost every African country, some European countries, people form alliances, marriage of convenience, strange bedfellows coming together. Costa, George Weah, they are strange bedfellows, but they are down together, and they come together for one reason. Costa doesn't want Joseph Boakai to be president. Joshua doesn't want Joseph Boakai to be president, even though they don't agree on principles on a lot of issues, but they have a common objective and they come together. I don't agree with George Weah, but I don't want Joseph Boakai to be president, and Joshua doesn't want Joseph Boakai to be president. I'm coming here. Even me, I will sit here. They say I received money from George Weah. So it tells me that a lot of people, they tell me about receiving money from George Weah. It looks like they are
Brother Jerome,
sorry,
let me push you a little bit because I don't want you to leave this question. Now, you say you don't want your vote to go to Honorable Boakai. Even though President Weah, it may not be the right person for the country. In your 2 minutes, I will add additional 1 minute to your time. What has President Weah done socioeconomically? Don't tell me about park. We know this is not any kind of serious improvement that improved the standard of living in the country. What reason can you give the Liberian people that will say President Weah is the man giving his leadership capabilities to lead this country? I want you to include that in your answer.
Dwalo, anytime you hear people talk about marriage of convenience and strange bedfellows, it is not because the person they join is a super developer or has done massive development. It's not because of that. It's because the choice they are making against the other person may go far beyond the present reality. So I know Georgia don't feel things, which I believe is not enough. He should be doing more. But if I look at Joseph Boakai's government to come, and I look at the people behind him, I look at what is happening now.
I want you to focus on President Weah's accomplishments.
No,
you will get to Boakai. Focus on President Weah's accomplishment socioeconomically. You will get to Boakai. We'll ask that question, but let's focus on President Weah for now. What has he achieved socioeconomically that has improved the standard of living for a majority of Liberians over the last 6 years? Let's focus on that. The reason that you can give.
Well, a lot of people have improved. I have improved. The business climate make me to create a business. I know two of my other friends are doing business. I know another gentleman who is making farming in Liberia. So the business climate is good. I mean, people are making a business. I've never been robbed on my business. Besides that, Dwalo, if anybody sit here and say, Joshua, I've not done anything, you are disingenuous. Because you see the man, when we talk about roads, they say, oh, but Ellie built roads too. Okay, but he barely rose too. Or say, okay, they may pay high school tuition for students or wire fee. They say, oh, it's insignificant. Well, yes, it's insignificant, but it's something the man is doing. When you say the man is building some stadiums in communities to innovate people for sports, you say, oh, it's not important. You're not going to add anything to our national development. That's not true. These little development projects, these things that are happening, they are all part and parcel of a governance process. They may not be enough to us. They may not be the one that we are looking at. But and like I told you, I have an objective to Joseph Boakai not to be president.
Thank you.
My objective is not for George Weah to be a clean man, but for Joseph Boakai not to be president.
Thank
and
you
I think
so
I
much.
will achieve that objective.
I will go to my brother Fagon. Fagon, we understand Gibson will not answer the question. Basically, sometimes when you don't answer a question, you already giving the answer. His answer is President Weah has not done something substantially to change the socioeconomic conditions in the country, even though he would not say it. He speaks to roles very vaguely. He say, business climate is all right for me, even though he lives in America. Fagon, let me ask you this question. President Weah is using money to entice Liberians to vote for him, to get support from other political parties. What does that say? And I want you to expand on the question that I asked Gibson earlier. What does that say about President Weah and the way he thinks about Liberia, not bringing a vision, not encouraging them, not convincing them to do what he's done, but rather using the Liberian people's money to get a second term? Fagon, I'll get over to you.
Thank you and good evening to all. What does it say if a sitting president after serving 6 years in office, will have to use cash violence, mob violence, and try to undertake a position of pay to play. What does it say of such president? It simply means that this president is unqualified and that this president cannot run on his record, but rather stolen cash. Now, my friend, it's not a debate, because if you want to debate me on that issue, then you have to divorce yourself of the idea that he's using cash. In the first round, he used over $50 million all around the place. Bought over 250 pickup trucks, 1,500 motorbikes alone. Brought in a private helicopter and paid massively to everybody. I'm sure Gibson will not debate me, because then he's not running on his record. He's running on the basis of pay to play. That is a fact. Nobody will come to debate that. No. Because you cannot run on a record that says your government is involved with ritualistic killings. Nobody wants a 2-year-old, 3-year-old child to be killed and butchered like a chicken. So he cannot run on that record. He cannot run on the record of extrajudicial killings. That is, executing people outside of the court permission or the legal means of a court. You cannot say, under my regime, Batini Swada, Gifty Lama da, Abba Peters da, Matthew Innes da, George Fambutu da, Alexander said die, Marvin Ella died. You can't run on that record. And they died brutally. Brutally. You cannot run on the record that says that you are laundering money and you were linked to a Lebanese businessman that have ties to Hamas. And now Hamas have gone into Israel and killed 1,500 Israeli citizens. And Israel is at war. But you were caught with your pants down with money laundering. Can you run on such a record? You cannot run on the economy because the economy is extremely bad. You ran a policy that had to do with harmonization, where people who made within the confines of the law, the minimum wage allowed by the law was what they made. You cut their money from $150 to $50. Can you run on such a record in violation of the Constitution? You cannot run on the fight against corruption because your government is the most corrupt. You inherited a debt portfolio of $800 million with the Moravia Bikana Highway to show and the Moravia Ganta Highway to show. You came, you borrowed $1.6 billion. $1.6 billion. And you left hole on the Ralphie Highway and dug more holes on the Bombay Highway. You have nothing to show for it. So you cannot run on that. Okay. Last but not the least, I will go to two more, but I don't want to waste my time. I just want to touch on his records. You took $30 million for stimulus package. What happened? You took $11 million to subsidize rice. What happened? You took the people monies from their accounts and from their earning wages and wasted it. So today, you cannot tell a person who was buying bag of rice for $13 when Joe Biden was vice president that they are paying $22 today and you want to run on that record? You're joking. You took a man who was paying $3.20 for gasoline. Today he's paying $5.80. You want to run on that record? You took a man from making $150 US to now making $50. You want to run on that record? You can't run on that record. You don't have anything to run on. And so because you don't have anything to run on, you have to do what the Americans call pay to play. You are dishing out monies to everybody. And what that says for our democracy, it says it is very dangerous. It sets the tone for corrupt governments to take over because of cash. It undercuts the idea of meritocracy, where you can work because of your ability, and then brings in the system of what we call patronage, to where because this person does this for you, you have to do this for them. Look, my dear brother, this election is all but done. Yeah, I know you're looking at your time, Gibson. 10 more seconds. This election is done. Go back. If you say this election is not finished, then you are not looking at the electoral results from this 2023 elections. And by that, what do I mean? Go to the presidential election and look at the big five. Look at the big five. The last time I checked, Josh Weah came first, Joe Parker came second, Appeton came third, and what's the name? Losoni Kumara fourth, Kunis 5, Tiawan 6. Tiawan is with us. I can tell you Losoni is with us. I can tell you Joe Parker is with the people. I can tell you Appeton's vote is Joe Parker's vote. The only man waiting is Cummins, who made a commitment on video that he will support the opposition. But if it doesn't come, I can guarantee you the Liberian people that voted for him will come. So what does George Weah have? What does he have? Only money.
Thank you.
That's the wrong way to proceed.
Thank
I
you.
respectfully submit.
Fagon, you cover a lot of bases. And I want to give us just one more minute before we go to the next topic tonight. One more minute on this topic, and let's better stick to the time. Dr. Francine, can President Weah win this election by using the Liberian people money in this fashion? It's pretty straightforward. You have 1 minute.
Liberians are waking up. They're listening to many outlets, including Spoon Radio, and so they are getting wiser in terms of making the best decision for our country. So I hope that they will continue to make good decisions. It seems like this past elections, the fact that the election was rigged, but they voted almost equally for Buckeye and also Weah. So they are waking up. It could have been the other way around, where overwhelmingly Weah could have won because he's a sitting president, and because he had cash violence going on, as reportedly. So yes, Liberian people are waking up. They are wising up.
Colonel Gray, I would say this to you. We know the CDC administration did not manufacture any money for themselves. They don't have any payment system within their own political party. And we know they bought all these vehicles, over 150 of them. They have money everywhere. My question to you is, can CDC win this election? We've seen this before with the likes of Tom Fala all over the place. It was being called ATM, sending money everywhere. Can CDC win by using the Liberian people money in this fashion? Can money win this election? Colonel Gray.
I think the best way to have won this election was how Mr. Weah won it in the first place, when he gave Liberians nothing. They had the passion for him because they believe he may have done something noble in his past, and so he was rewarded gracefully. But to begin to rely on that gesture to say that will be the business as usual going forward, I think it's a miscalculation. He should have done that in the last 6 years when he was president. He should have demonstrated that, look, you entrusted me with power because of my nobility or what I've done, what I did in the past, and you deliver. But so many people are disadvantaged, including even those who had invested, confidence or implicit confidence upon him. And those individuals today are some of the most acrimonious and bitter people. So if you ask me if Mr. Weah is going to win, it's going to be an uphill battle for him. And he continues to fight an uphill battle. I believe it did not even garner this much in the first round. That is mysterious for now. We can make that conjecture. But I still believe the way his popularity, derailed to the extent where he was being booed whenever he appeared at certain areas. Tells me that Liberians in an infinite moment where he will appear and they say we won the rescue train and so on and so forth. Those kinds of indication tell me that Mr. Weir is not going to win this election unless he fingered the document, and it's not strange.
Thank you. Let me go to my brother Gibson here. Before President Weir came to power, he made a bunch of promises to build stadium, to bring jobs to the country. Over the last 6 years, every single multinational corporation in the country has left. There has not been a single investor on a massive scale that has come to Liberia over the last 6 years. But yet and still, President Weir believes that he can use money to entice people to vote for him. Is this a great strategy, and can money make him win this election, Brother Gibson?
But first of all, your assertion that we are used money to entice people to vote is not true. You don't have any empirical evidence. This is just another political, garbage talk to say the man used money to entice people. I mean, nobody has evidence. So the thing is, if you are jumbling things up in the basket at the same time. I heard Falcon was talking about the harmonization. The civil servants were harmonized. But Falcon, you yourself, you were harmonized. And the reason for the harmonized, you don't want to convince us that it was good. You explained to us that the government was harmonizing because some people were making 5,000 as cabinet ministers, other people were making 7,000 as cabinet ministers. You were making certain amount, and everybody to equilibrium. You promoted it. You told us it was good. You sold it to us. We accepted it. You come back today and tell the Liberian people that it was wrong.
Gibson, let's stick to the question. I know we're good at the question.
Tell me what to say. I gotta respond to some of the garbage that was spewed. Otherwise, will people leave here with misinformation? Okay, you can't come here and tell us that it was wrong now. Why did you convince us those days? You have press conference upon press conference telling us that harmonization will benefit Liberia. Now you tell us it's not going to benefit Liberia. As a matter of fact, you asked me a question, Bralu, first. You talk about improvement in the Weir government. Did you know that in 2017, the inflation of Liberia was at 12.42%? Now, during early time, when all the international NGOs, the United Nations, the UN, everybody was here, they were pulling money into the system, the inflation was 12.42. But you know what the inflation today? The inflation today is, let me make sure I get the figure right. The inflation today is 9.2, 2021, is 7.6, 2022. So in early time, where all the NGOs were pulling money, all the international community were pulling money, there was too much money on the ground, and inflation was 12 points more. Now there's no NGO, no international community. The United Nations is gone, and we have to struggle on his own to create situation to run the country on dry bones. And he has reduced the inflation in 2022 to 7.6. And you people can still say that the man has not done anything. So you got to go tell the United Nations and the World Bank that you guys are lying.
Can you share that research in our discussion room so we can look at the empirical some of the citations? Please do that.
Thank you, Gibson.
Did you say 9.2 or 7.6? I have two numbers. I heard you say two numbers here.
I got 9.2 in 2021 and 7.6 in 2022.
Okay, so
let me put the early one there for the 2027
Okay,
one.
thank you so much,
Gibson. I put the whole thing there.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. We're going to go to the next topic, but I will address your inflationary question in the very bit. First of all, that inflation number is not just wrong, it's massively wrong. The inflation in Liberia is north of 25%. Let me tell you the reason why. First of all, Tom Etuwe can post anything he wants to post, and he can say anything he wants to say. Most of the numbers that the World Bank uses, the Liberian government supplies the data that is generated by the World Bank to supply the numbers for Liberia. Inflation and price has a relationship. If you're telling me inflation is down, how come everything price in the country has almost doubled or sometimes tripled? Inflationary pressure happened because of these reasons. Number one, if our export has decreased in the country, inflationary pressure is going to go up. If consumption has increased in the country while supply has decreased, inflation is going to go up. All of these are happening. If the storage facility at LPMC is leaking and Zorizo stealing fuel oil from it, inflation is going to go up because somebody got to pay for that money. So there's a lot of inflationary pressure. Everybody who's listening, a bag of rice is almost $22, $23 right now. It was $13. Everything has gone up. Do not listen to Samuel Toy's number. That's a lie.
We're talking about Samuel Toy.
I will come back to you.
I'm not talking about Samuel Toy, bro.
Yeah,
You give me
because
2
you're
minutes.
bringing
You
this
allow
number
me to
and
talk
that is
for
not
1
true.
minute.
The people
You
on the
give me 2
ground
minutes.
know
You
what
allow
they're
me to talk
paying.
for 1 minute.
Listen,
First
I
of
give
all, Dwalo, you are misinforming the people. You are misinforming the people.
Okay, I will
In
come back to
America,
you.
you live in America. The money you used to pay to go buy one 25-pound bag of red, the same thing you stay paying since 3 years ago.
America do not lie about
No,
the
you
inflation
don't.
numbers.
No, don't do that.
We're not
Don't do
focused
that.
on America. We're focused on Liberia.
Even in America, prices are going up. Everywhere.
Why has prices gone up in America? There's a reason.
Gibson, why you want to
tell
talk
me
when
why
other
has
people
prices
talk
gone
and
up?
you interrupt?
Thank you. So I'm the moderator.
Listen,
Allow me to go around. I will come back to you, Gibson.
We listen to you.
Give me 2 minutes. I'm in flight. He jumped into
Give
it.
everybody 1 minute. You are even going
No,
over.
no.
They were
They
1
didn't give me
minute.
1 minute.
Well, it's
He
okay.
said,
That's
let
what I
me
was
go
saying.
around 1 minute on this topic.
Listen,
I will
Gibson.
give you time to talk.
There is a relationship between price.
Gibson, when you talk,
That's
I was
fine.
the one after you. Now it went around. I was waiting for my time.
Yeah.
They said only 1 minute.
Yeah.
I'm
Everybody
dealing
listen
with the
to you,
moderator.
brother.
I'm dealing with the moderator. Let the moderator.
Okay,
tell
but
me
I want to go
clearly
to
Yeah,
what
Dr.
I'm
but don't
saying.
Francine.
interrupt. Let enjoy the show.
Let me go to Dr.
I can engage the moderator. Let the moderator say, okay, we'll move to the next person. It's not your business to do that. Not your place to do it.
Let me go to
You
Dr.
shut up on the
Let's go
program
ahead.
when you
Dalu,
talk
go
too
ahead.
much.
Yeah.
I will see how much money you give Fagon.
Yeah, watch the minutes.
See how much money you give
Watch the
Fagon.
minute or you watch your clock, but I will continue to say this.
Ain't that 1
Do
minute?
not,
I'll
yeah,
put
I
it
do
1
not.
minute.
Let keep it civilized. Do not fool the Liberian people. They themselves are seeing these prices. It's not what Dwalu is saying. It's not what somebody else is saying. It is what is actually present on the ground. And this is an area that I'm well versed in on the issue of inflation. But Dr. Francine, I will come to you. We'll change the topic very briefly. We see a giant like TJ.
Oh, everybody talk that 1 minute. Why I tell my own?
Oh, you tell your own. Oh,
No,
sorry.
I was waiting after Gibson.
Okay, then tell your 1 minute. Tell your 1 minute.
Yes.
Sorry. Tell your 1 minute.
Citizens, this was the little clip that got me in trouble about the very stuff. And I'm going to allow, if the producer is there, if he wants it, I will send it to him so that he can play it so Gibson can know I was not in favor of it. Secondly, Gibson, let me say this. The same thing Tuer did to Kev is what he's doing. We are using our brains here. We're not depending on Tuer to tell us what to say. We went to school. We are educated. Now, having said that, let me say this. Mr. Weah used all his money in the first half. Then he had to stuff ballots. And he had to steal votes. Now, of all the candidates that are here on this stuff, out of the 6 candidates, we're only waiting for Kumis now. We're only waiting for Kumis. And we are playing Kumis' video to tell us where his position is, whether he will run for president in 2029, or whether we should even respect him in our politics. And the reason why I say so is because he's on video. He made a commitment. He said, this is what I will do. For Kumis not to do it again, the Liberian people will hold him. So, I have heard, Dwalo, that the CPP said they're going to CDC. Mr. Kumis said he will be neutral. He don't want to have anything to do with it. No, but Mr. Kumis, you said you were ahead. Now, why we holding you on? We ain't got time for CPP. If CPP going to we are, then now you Kumis. The way you tell us, that's what we listening to. And that's what we waiting for you for. Anything apart from that, Mr. Kumina is there. So we don't worry about we are. Go ahead.
Okay, Dr. Francine, thank you, my brother. Over
Walu, let me provide 30 seconds information.
Okay, go ahead.
All the numbers Mr. Gibson was reading do not correspond with the actual rate. The actual inflation rate for Liberia right now is 23.56. You were right.
Jesus.
And in 2017, it was 12.42%.
There you go.
So it has double or gone up,
substantial.
It's actually double.
Yeah. Let me say this.
Or he was reading something else. I don't know.
Fadiga will always say CDC has some kind of relationship with the truth. What was it? What does he say, Dr. Frizzy?
That's exactly what he said. He said
so
bad relationship with the truth.
But the truth. CDC does not care about the truth. But Dr. Frizzy, I will say this to you. In the very first round, based on the numbers that we have officially with the National Elections Commission, the Unity Party did not do well in the Southeast. Now, people can attribute it to several different factors, but I'm going with the current number. Now, we do have Honorable TJ, even though he lost in the region. Now he's going to support the UP organization. Do you think he's going to improve UP numbers in the Southeast, or is going to stay consistent? What's your take on the issue with TJ coming on board?
Oh my goodness, your questions are just here to push me out of neutrality. But
that's the whole point. And before you say that, Dr. King said, silence in the time of national issues is betrayal. I just want you to ponder that as you go ahead.
Well, it depends on what the national chaos is and who the oppressors are. I also hear people say, when you're silenced, you are siding with the oppressors. That's one of the comments that have been in my inbox. We got to ask ourselves, who are the oppressors in Liberia? Once we can answer that, then maybe we'll understand the role of silence.
Fair point.
But yeah, before I even answer your question, I want to go back to what Mr. Falcon brilliantly said about the death of Princess Cooper, Bati Ninsua, Innes, Matthew Innes. Let's assume that the government had no involvement in their death. But it is, to me, the government's responsibility for us to at least get some decent answers as to what happened to them repeatedly. It is the government's responsibility to at least do some criminal investigation that will be in a satisfactory manner. But I have not quite heard that. I've heard a series of press conferences, but not anything conclusive. I was actually involved in the Odell Sherman's death. I actually was involved in raising money to send the pathologist to Liberia. Yeah. And he actually came back and said she died from descent from height. Two different things: from falling, descent from height, okay? And he said to us, it was now left with the criminal department to do all the background work, to go and measure height, to go and put different scenarios together, to use, look at the samples, the body fluid samples that he made available, that he asked them to send to the United States. None of that was done, okay? The same thing, we had someone here yesterday that gave us a series of narratives about Ninsua death. Didn't come up to any conclusion. So what I'm saying is, in order for our citizens to feel safe and to trust the system, to believe in the rule of law, you have to do things like repeatedly make them feel safe in their country by having these conclusive investigations. Yes, I want to say that I believe Mr. Cummings said that he was going to support the opposition. I want to say, I'm not speaking for him, but I believe that if the opposition, if there wasn't any rigging in the election, okay? So I don't know what he's going to do, Mr. Falcon. I'm not speaking for him. But I think the idea that he came out and said the elections were rigged, it's going to be interesting to see where he's going to fall. I just want to say that, because if you say something,
before you forget, you got to answer the question.
Yes, I'm answering the question now. But TJ, I'm not forgetting. I haven't forgotten. I know you're trying to move me a different direction, but it's okay. I just had a serious things that I wrote down here. Okay, TJ, if TJ had followers in the Southeast region, and he's definitely supporting the Unity Party, I wouldn't be surprised that if his followers truly believe in him, that they're going to follow him. If he goes to the Unity Party, they will follow him. I mean, it's like, if I have followers and I'm going to make sure that they believe in me, they're strong, you know, they have the same values that align with mine. So if I'm going to a certain position like the Unity Party, I would expect my followers to follow me, and I guarantee that he kept in contact with them, and he's, you know, he speaks with them often. So that's
Okay,
it.
I will go to my brother Gibson on this one, but I will say that before, because Dr. Francine, you did ask, we should first define who the oppressor is. If an administration denies social services, if an administration have a city that becomes a shanty town with garbage everywhere, poor sanitation, poor infrastructure, poor leadership, a president who leaves the country for almost 50 days without caring about the plight of the people, he's an oppressor because he's lowering your standard of living. I think the definition of an oppressor is President Weah, as it stands right now for the Liberian people. But Brother Gibson, I will say this.
They're welcome.
Oh yeah. Angie Mama, how you doing, Mama? I'm going so fast, I forgot about you. Welcome to the show. And brother Gibson, let me ask you this question. TIJ wholeheartedly supports the UP organization. Do you think TIJ is going to make any significant difference in the Southeast, or is it going to be consistent? You're muted, brother.
You want to have 10 seconds? I can.
No, you have 2 minutes. You have 2 minutes.
But first of all, I don't know who's controlling the camera. You don't need to put me backstage like you are playing with me. Just tell me, don't come here again. I will not come here. I don't have to come here. But don't put me backstage.
It's from the studio. I don't know who did that.
Yeah, no, I also have control.
I don't think it's appropriate. And I'm not going to run away. You can do all your things you want to do. Once I receive that message, I don't come here, I'll stay calm. Okay.
Yeah.
But let me answer your question.
I also have any control on the show here.
It's from the studio.
So I think it's from the studio. But anyway, glad you verbalized your views.
Yeah, but TIJ will not improve anything. TIJ will not improve anything. TIJ did not win because he thought the CDC did not put their weight behind him. He expected the CDC to put its weight behind him. They did not. And when he lost, he feared betray, and he think he can do it. If the man was going to make the UP to win anything, then how did he lose? A loser cannot improve anything. You see, the other day we were talking about Besonga Finley in Grand Bassa County. It's because Besonga Finley numbers show that he's a winner. And the winner carries with him a bunch of supporters who can make the difference. But if the person that defeated TIJ said you laugh. So it means the people rejected TIJ. He cannot go back to them and say, even though you rejected me, but I want you to take GMB. It's a counter message. But Remy Gray, I want you to put that statistic in the chat room where you get out 25 or 35% inflation. Put it in the chat room. Don't just say it like that. Okay, so
no, that's the one you posted though. The one in the room.
It's the one I posted. Said 9 for 2021 and 7 for 2022.
Verified. Maybe you posted the wrong one. The one I read is the one that is in there with the map.
No, okay. I will post it again just in case. But the one I posted said 9 and 7. So I don't see any 25% where you're talking about. But look, let me just come back to basics here. I previously said my objective and Joshua's objective align in a strange bad federal situation. I don't want JMB to be president. Joshua doesn't want JMB to be president. And the reason I don't want JMB to be president is based on the lesser of two evils. Remy Gray here cannot confirm JMB because he knows JMB is not lesser of two evils. He will never. Because he's one of the progressive, analytical individuals that I have known over the years who subscribe to better government. But even rejecting Joshua cannot make him accept JMB because the people around JMB will be stealing while JMB will be at home. So let's not fool ourselves, guys. Let's not fool ourselves. You can say all you want to say about Joshua. You can embellish anything you want to embellish in your comment. Joshua will beat JMB because the people have seen the truth. They see that JMB cannot run the government just as he cannot run the UP. Let me pause.
Thank you. Look, before I go,
I want to praise you for not cutting me off.
Yeah, no, we didn't call you off. But before I go to Brother Gray, I want to go to Sister Jemima, and I'm going to say this on Brother Gibson. In the Southeast, just because you lost an election doesn't mean you don't have sway in that region, and I want you to understand that. And secondly, President Weah that you claim is not good against evil. It's not. I mean, it's not lesser of two evil. It's actually good against evil. President Weah is an evil person. In fact, not just his capability, but when you look at the murders, the extrajudicial killings in the country, when you look at the way he's governed the country, it's not lesser of two evil. Honorable Boubacar is a better candidate. He's good. President Weah is actually evil. Seji Mama, let me come to you for a second. Do you think Honorable TIJ is going to improve the UP numbers in the Southeast, or he's going to decrease the UP number as suggested by Brother Gibson here? You have 2 minutes.
Did you say whether he's going to increase the votes for UP in the Southeast?
Yes, because he's supporting the UP party, and we want to know whether he's going to improve the votes in the Southeast, or he's going to make no change.
Hello?
Yeah, okay, we can hear you.
Hello?
Yep. Can you hear us?
The question again is what?
Okay, yes, the question. TIJ supports the Unity Party. TIJ is a sitting senator from Sano County. And TIJ has pledged that he's going to improve the UP numbers in the Southeast. Do you believe TIJ presence on the UP team is going to improve the UP numbers in the Southeast, or is going to decrease the UP numbers as suggested by my brother Gibson?
Oh, definitely going to increase. Because TIJ is a seasoned politician who has ran in Sano County for many, many years and has won. TIJ in the Liberian society or in the political arena is not just a name. TIJ is a political giant, and his people love him. So I'm sure that we're going to win big, or like Donald Trump normally say, bigly in the Southeast. So it's no joke. TIJ is an icon. I have all confidence.
Thank you so much. And I'll go to my brother Gray before I come down. I'm going to recognize my sister Fatima. Welcome to the show. So you too, brother Gray, the same question.
Thank you.
Is Mr. TIJ going to improve the UP numbers, or is he going to be a burden and decrease the UP numbers? You're muted. You got 2 minutes, sir.
Let me throw light on the guest we had yesterday.
Yeah.
The gentleman from the security who spoke. Just came to my attention that the lady that was in question, Leela, it was said that she did not go to the hospital. And in that hospital room were two medical doctors, Dr. Jala and Dr. Kete.
Wow.
It is said that Norris Toy called those two people while Neswa was there. So none of the individual named were in that hospital room with Neswa. So I just want to provide that clarity. We can refuse to accept that later on. But here's the deal with Milton TIJ. Milton has been one of these inconsistent people for a long time in our politics. Apparently, that's how you gain relevance in our Liberian politics. You have to be inconsistent enough for you to be recognized. So said, I do believe that he has a very loud mouth, and people would know it. Sometimes people are good at making the case for other individuals unlike themselves, and I can give you proof. That includes even Henry Costa, who could not even come forth in a local election. But he's a good salesman. Apparently, sometimes they fall short of selling themselves. With the kind of ambience and the noise that Milton TIJ brings to the landscape, it's going to garner some attention. And I think that attention will be favorable for whoever he throws his support behind, because he has the zeal and he has also the finesse to do it for others. Maybe his ability of not getting reelected was because he supported CDC, so he was being punished. Who knows? I can take on that theory and probably I can make a lendable case, but I don't know whether it was because he was not popular enough, and less insignificant individual defeated him. But I think when it comes to adding numbers to someone, Milton Tiaje is loud enough.
Okay, thank you. And to my brother Fagon, same question. The TIJ factor, would it change it or not?
Well, let me start first of all by quoting what Gibson Jeru said. Gibson seemed not to be in line with our politics. He says that, and I'm quoting Gibson, quote, "A loser cannot improve anything." But the last time I checked, you were sitting there hailing Henry Costa, who could not run a radio station, who campaigned in 2017. He had a fake straight for JMB. JMB lost. He ran in the election. He couldn't come fourth place. He ran for senator. They bought him out. He campaigned for the Brooklyn Park City mayor. They beat him. He put a knee down on the list for VP. They threw him from there. He went for 30 million. He came back with 10,000. He joined CDC. Can a loser improve anything? Then he goes on to say, I don't want JMB to be president because he's not the lesser of two evil. JMB were paying the people 150. Your man Joey are paying the people 50. Who's evil? Back around on JMB was $13. On your man Joey at 22. Who evil? They were buying gasoline for $3.20. They buying it for $5.20. Who evil? Honor president, honor JMB as vice president. Yes, you can say Harry Green, Michael Allison. But Mokoya Uno death list, it will never end. Extrajudicial killings, ritualistic killings, the proliferation of drugs, the corruption at its zenith. Who's the lesser of two evil? Who the lesser of two evil that guy cheering in every community in Montreal? Who the lesser? Again, when you say TIJ does not add anything, then you need to go look at the list. Creating Duncan won by 52% of the vote, followed by TIJ 28%. In third place was Matthew Zaza. And if you're looking at the numbers, then you know that TIJ got numbers. Gibson, what will happen to you in the Southeast is bad dream. You will never wake up from it. Right now, I can confirm to you that President Weah is suffering from something called pest. Even Dr. Francine don't know it in all her work. She have never encountered it. It is called PEST, pest. They ain't talking about Russian other thing. No. They're not pest control. It's post-electoral stress trauma. And after this election, while your friend named Picoy, BB, in fact, not BB, party endorsement.
Thank you.
You're running behind Youth League then. Show me your party endorsement. Even last night, the men are there when you gave a whole party. Gomblo gave a whole party. Alco coming tomorrow, they're giving a whole party. Then you say that here, you say loser, according to you, cannot improve anything.
Thank you,
with $50 million, 250 pickup trucks, 1,500 motorbike, we tie you for the 343, and that includes your stuffed ballots. Now we move into the Southeast with over 500 men to man the Southeast. Can also let's see you.
Thank you.
We'll smoke you out there at Opassum.
Thank you. To my sister Fatima, I'm going to post a question to you, but I'll have a little slant on it. TIJ lost the elections, and people attribute that to he not having some clout again in the Southeast. Is there any truth to this? Is Mr. TIJ a burden to the UP, or is he an asset to the UP?
Thank you, Adwalu. Thank you to my fellow panelists. Thank you to all of the people watching around the world. I shall look at Gibson, and I'm sorry, Gibson just makes me laugh so hard.
I can't prepare for him tonight. I will beat him into submission.
Y'all forgive our pa, man. Our pa and JB almost the same age. And the thing is, Gibson and JB the crowd. And the thing is, JB not be served as
Don't see
vice
Casey
president.
Fair at La Fuerte or Casey. I don't got it.
Fatima, you don't know your Django, you.
God make you.
They make a
I
hundred people that
think
can fight him, blow you all your face.
Mr. TJ is an addition to the Unity Party. I think he's going to ensure that the Southeast is delivered. Well, look, we are dealing with people who have credibility, people who have done this before. People in politics, you win some, you lose some. That does not mean that you don't have control of your people. So we think he's an addition. We're waiting for all of our heavy haters who are going to endorse us tomorrow. I mean, I was so happy to talk to Palu myself. Today I talked to Palu, I talked to Sekou Kroma, and they called me today. They went to the party headquarters. They were leaving like 2 hours ago. I spoke to them. We are excited. We're not here to try to talk about, they have buka fish. They also have pojo, and then they got kuta. So when you're talking about kuta there, we don't count pojo and buka. So my poor bake you.
Okay.
My brother would like for us to talk about the pojo there. No, Mr. TJ is an addition. We feel that he's coming. He will bring something to the table. He will help us secure a win on the 14th.
Thank you so much, Fatima.
Alain n'a play better.
Says your mama, there are some reports out there regarding the magistrates in the 15 counties. The magistrates play a crucial role for Liberians and when in election time. Across the country, they are the voice, they are the authority in each individual county. We're hearing reports that the magistrates could be compromised in ways that we cannot substantiate yet. But here's the question to you. Is it possible for the magistrate to be compromised to the point where they jeopardize the election? Sister Mama? I'm talking about the magistrates in the counties. Gigi, can you hear me?
I didn't get you clear.
I said we are getting reports that the local magistrates in the counties could be compromised. Now, I don't want to believe such a story, but it's worth talking about. Is it possible to have the magistrates in the counties compromised? The election magistrates?
Yes. The reason why they're going to be compromised is that most of the magistrates are working for the government. They have been appointed as commissioners, some of them directors. So, of course, you have CDC penetrating like they did in the first round. They are going to be compromised because they work for the government. That's what I see. And even if they don't work for the government, money plays a very key role over there. Now we don't know how much, if they are migrants, we don't know how much they know about our politics in Liberia. We don't know. So they are very vulnerable. They can do anything for money. They can do anything. They can take any instructions from government. So of course they will be compromised. That's how I feel. And they did it in the first round. So if we're not careful to send the right kind of pool washers in those counties, we have the same problem we had the first time. So we have to be very mindful and take precaution.
Well, Dr. Francine, we are getting information from the top ranks in the UP organization, and what he's speaking to is there is a possibility now. I don't know whether you know this. What kind of power the magistrates hold in the local counties when it comes to election matters? And even for some reason they're compromised. Can they substantially change the results of the elections if they are compromised, Dr. Francine?
The magistrates, they actually verify legally the numbers and announce in their area who won the elections. So they have the constitutional power to do that. Now, as you guys are planning, if I were to offer any suggestions to any one of the parties, is to make sure that you have your poll watchers there. At the end of the day, you put the sheet up, the tally sheet up on the wall, and make sure that you take a picture of it and so that you have the ability to compare what the magistrate is saying to what you have. And if there are any discrepancies, then we know something happened. So this is what I think that everybody should be, all of whether you Unity Party or CDC, you should be paying very keen attention to those tally sheets, because you can argue if the magistrates give a different number or verified legally a different set of numbers.
Okay, thank you. I'll go to Brother Gibson on this question though. Brother Gibson, I'll be very simple, straightforward. Is it possible to have compromised magistrate, or do we have systems in place to make sure it's not easily doable? Let me pose the question in that way.
You know, I'm a journalist. I always say I stand for the truth. Okay, even I'm becoming a politician, I'll still behave as a journalist. Is it possible? Yes, it's possible. But the situation that we have in Liberia today, the way the elections are run, it's been a little bit difficult by the day to see cheating, because the way people are present, the way they count the votes, everybody sign and put a tally sheet up. Even if you're a magistrate, you want to manipulate the figures, you're going to be exposed. So I'm not sure if George Weah is going to attempt to steal this election, because he knows the ramification for stealing the election. And so I also don't want the opposition to hype up the situation, the sentiment of stealing election, because in that hyping up of stealing election, it also has a violent connotation. It encourages supporters to jump in the street for no reason and demonstrate and destroy things and cause trouble. So sometimes we have to manage our words, our assertions, so that our followers cannot see it as if it is going to actually happen when it is not really happening. But I don't see in this election, the way things are right now and people are open, I don't think any magistrate will turn fool to look at the numbers. The tally sheet is already signed. Then you take the tally sheet, you forge people's signature, then you change the number. Any magistrate who does that, you are up for a rude awakening. But I wanted to ask you a question. You and Fagon, either of you can answer. You guys talk about killing in government. I just want to ask a simple question. Do you think George Weah is a killer? You, Dwalu or Fagon?
Well, let me answer you very quickly, and I gotta go up to what's his name. Let me tell you, do you believe Charles Taylor was a killer?
No, I'm not going to answer that question.
Okay, so listen now. Do you believe? Listen now. Do you believe?
I can say yes.
But why you might answer? I don't answer something you can't answer.
Listen now.
So I say yes.
Okay, Charles Taylor has skill. The reason why I pose the question in that fashion, if I'm in command and my subordinate does something, I am directly responsible for what happens. This is how I see things, because I allow it to happen. But I'll answer your question. I'll go to Brother. I'm Colonel Gray here. Colonel Gray, and I listen to Jerome's answer, and we all want to believe this. Do you think it is possible for our magistrates to be compromised, or this is something that Liberia has grown beyond? Colonel Gray, I'll give it to you. 2 minutes.
You know, when the elections commissioner, the head of the elections commission, Davietta Brown Lasana, when she appeared on one of those interviews, she stressed on the idea that people should not take camera in the room, and I particularly held on that note, and that you cannot take your phone in the room, because whatever data they have there, they want to preserve the integrity by not sharing it. You know, for some reason, I could not grapple exactly where she was going with this. But equally, Dr. Richardson said people can take, a picture of what's posted on the wall and so on and so forth. Now, if they deny you the ability to carry a camera in there, how can you take picture? Now it points to the idea that they wanted to make sure that what they put out is controlled. And that was how they lost elections to Mr. Dillon or Senator Dillon, because everybody had the original data on their phone and they were posting those outcomes. Now they streamline that process because it denies you the ability to do just that. So whatever data, you saw that this gone October 10th election, everybody was saying we have our tally sheet. They really did not have any tally sheet, and that denied them the ability to even protest the result. Now, why was that the situation to prevent people from getting their own evidence? It was because they know that the magistrate, those who are controlling this process, could be compromised. And I say this because you have no way of arguing against that, because you will have no proof by the end of the day. So they have streamlined the process to deny you transparency, and that for me smells like something else. I'm telling you.
I'll go to Fagon.
Mame is in the back. I'm sorry, Dwalu. Mame is in the back. Can
Okay.
somebody let him in?
Yeah, let me in the back. But Fagon, we're going to come to you. The same question: whether it is possible for the magistrates to be compromised, and given what Colonel Gray just explained, is there a reason why there may be some restriction? I know a few shows back you explained, according to the Constitution, that this cannot be done. Or how do you present that in this case, that if there's a possibility for these magistrates to be compromised?
Well, first of all, what we're looking at is a free and fair elections. The Liberian people have been very tolerant. They've exhibited a high degree of patience, which the international community have seen. It's not that we're not capable. You cannot beat Nima, you cannot beat Lofa, you cannot beat the Western region, you can't beat Bong, you can't beat Muslim, you can't beat nobody. You don't have even enough bullets. You don't have an army that is 2,000 strong.
Bon.
So again, nobody is afraid. But Liberians are peaceful people. Speaking about peace, I seize this opportunity to remember the Talbot family. And I want to say to them, again, take heart. Under a Joseph Numa Boakai presidency, the case will be expeditiously investigated. And I'm talking about William Talbot III. Reverend William Talbot, who was an ambassador of peace under this administration, Gibson, was brutally murdered. In addition to the sons of two former presidents, William Vakanara Shagbaton, Tubman's son, got brutally murdered. In fact, he was beheaded. William Aratoba's son, William Toba III, working on peace in Liberia, was brutally murdered. In fact, if the Americans had not intervened, maybe by now they would have killed Ellen Johnson Sirleaf or son. Because it's like they were killing the former president's son in line. After Tubman's son, Toba's son. After Toba's son, then maybe Ellen's son. But I want to say to you, when you talk about the magistrates, what have we not seen? Which one of y'all can say you didn't see them arresting the people putting them in pickup? Which one of y'all can say you didn't see them arresting the 7 in front of the 22? Except that this time around, we're looking at that lady, Devetta Brown. We are saying your vote is your privacy. But it does not mean I can stand where here and watch you carry the single sheet, mark it, and put it in the bus. We will not see where you mark. Because why? We don't want people putting the ballot in their underclothes. We don't want them putting it in their bra and stuffing the ballot box. You know who told us? Milton Tiaji. He said, and I quote, I used to believe it was one man, one vote, until I saw in these elections, one man, 5 ballot papers. And let me say this to you. The Election Commission must be aware that we have received intelligence report that the buck press have been printing all the funny things around here. Will not be surprised this time when you see right here a Joe Parker place Well, when you go put ink there, then in 2 hours time it dry, and it raise, you call it invalid vote, y'all won't start trouble. But what we can say is that the magistrates must be careful, because it's not 20 persons in the room now. No, like you versus me. We will see the people picture on the ID card. We will check the number, and we'll look at you carrying one ballot paper. You will go there, everybody will look at you colo. You're not putting your hands in your underclothes. You're not putting your hand in your back pocket. You're not putting your hand in your bra or under your shirt. You will do your thing. We're watching you from distance. You put it in the bus.
Thank you.
Anything that comes from there, magistrate, you put yourself in hot water. So where will be gone, but you feel it.
Thank you so much. Now, I'm going to go to Meme. Welcome to the show, brother. I'll ask you the same question that I just asked him. Do you believe that our electioneering process has evolved to the extent where the magistrates in the local counties cannot be compromised so easily? Or do we have the systems in place where we don't have to worry about the magistrates? They are just a reporting arms in the county and they cannot tamper with the votes in any fashion? Meme.
Yeah, sorry for coming late. You know, a lot of things happening. Yeah. You know, working between job and coming on the show, but it's good to be here. What I see with the result with the election process is beyond the magistrates. Voters themselves are becoming very intelligent and aware of the process. Political parties experience in monitoring votes and protecting votes increasing over time. But to answer your question, whether the magistrate can be compromised, yes, if they want to be, they can be compromised. But here is the downside of being compromised in a process that is vigilantly monitored by everybody. And that would be reckless. The votes are counted. The results are shared with the two political parties in the room. They are satisfied with their counting. No alarm, they didn't raise any concern. And that tally sheet gets to the magisterial office and you change the number. It's clear recipe for chaos. Part of the reason why magistrates were allegedly compromised in the past and political parties only cry, but they could not provide sufficient evidence to make their case, was because they did not have intelligent, independent poll watchers at those places. That is the reason why from the first round to this time, we continue to highlight the need to have independent. When I'm talking about independent, I'm talking about intellectual independence and financial independence poll watchers. This time is even more critical. If you mistakenly put a CDC spy as a CDC...
Pagon, please mute. I'm so sorry, Mame. Pagon, please mute your phone. Go ahead, Mame.
If you mistakenly put a CDC spy in a room with another sedition to monitor Unity Party vote, it would just be a party of the two. I think you're understanding what I mean. So, all the elections I participated in Liberia either serve as poll watcher or observer. I intentionally did that. So I understand the process. If election will be rigged, it is rigged between the counting process in the tally room to the magisterial center. It is between there the process happens. That is the raw raking of numbers. But there are other things that happen that you cannot easily detect, most of which happened during the first round. The United Party have been able to establish that, but there are not things to discuss on the show.
Correct.
There are not things to explain about on the show. But in terms of counting the number, getting the votes, signing the tally sheets, and the tally sheet going to the magistrate and the magistrate tampering with it, it's almost unlikely to happen.
All right.
Especially when you have independent poll watchers to do. That's why we push back to the Unity Party that will not support. Let's have these people in place.
Thank you. Look, we got a last question before we go to the phone line. This other question is 2 minutes per person. I think everybody answered our first question. And this one, call it vague, call it whatever you want to. We have listened to President Weah across the country. We've listened to President Weah across the country. Honorable Baka across the country. And I will start with Colonel Gray. Has anybody, first of all, we'll do President Weah, you have 2 minutes. Has anybody heard or understood President Weah's vision for the next 6 years? Has he explained his vision to the country? Can anybody articulate that vision? The question would be, Honorable Gray, what is President Weah's vision for the next 6 years?
You know, besides making the I don't want to call it unscholarly argument that my predecessor had 12 years, I deserve 12 years too. Besides that, claiming that it is my right to have 2 terms just like my predecessor, besides making that claim, I cannot lay my hands just as I could not lay my hands in in his first term, when it took them almost 3 years into the administration to come up with that proper agenda. It took them, and that was just something that was coined out of public pressure. Because we were pushing them around, this government is ruling without a plan. They were forced to go and plagiarize, lift some intellectual properties from other scholars around the world, and came up with, an unverified plan. And that's why they never touched it in the course of their 6 years. Because you know what? These were borrowed ideas, stolen ideas, uncut ideas. So just as they struggled in that first term, they came in ruling by their heart, leading by their heart. And that's why, as Fadiga would say, vain projects. And they, just to appease people. And I can tell you that I don't know if I can lay my hands on anything Mr. Weah have said that he will do, for which he must be given a second term to finish up what he started. I don't know what he started. I don't know where he's going with his second term. I just feel it's a guy that wants to finish up, making sure that he's never broke for the rest of his life, steal some more, enrich himself, and then leave the scene. That's all I can lay my hands on, my brother.
Thank you. I'm going to go to Dr. Francine. And this question is the same question, but I will phrase it in this way, but I'm phrasing it for Man Kebe all the way behind Douala. What in President Weah now say that will make Man Kebe left improve, for which we will gain another 6 years, or what he now show up that say when you're giving 6 more years, the thing I will do that will make sure Douala and get boo water running in the street. Dr. Francine, has President Weah said anything of that sort? You're muted, Doc.
Douala, that's an excellent question, and we can dig that question all the way back to 2017 when President Weah did not even participate in a debate where it was going to be the most appropriate place for him to discuss his vision to the Liberian people. So we saw that, in my opinion, I believe our country was being ran haphazardly, like whatever came out, whatever, he wanted. If he wanted to put a park, but near the Springfield Airport, he did that. If he wanted to put a park in PHP, he did that. But there wasn't any vision for the country. It's almost like, I'm going to provide you, when he did provide stuff to Liberian people, it was like, I'm going to provide you things that will kind of appease your eyes, I'm going to let you say, I'm building this structure here. It looks good temporarily. But then, even further down, there was no vision as to how to maintain those things either. So in my opinion, I have not quite heard a vision from the president that is commensurate with presidents around the world. He said, I would say, I believe him, and I don't want to misquote him here, better days are ahead. To me, that is telling you that I don't have any vision now, but you just come with me, you hang with me, I will try, because there are better days ahead. They can say something like, Bura, you know how your Christmas will be from how the night before your Christmas, right? So to me, I don't see any vision commensurating with the world that we have today, today's world.
Okay, Dr. Francine, I'm going to go to Angie Mama here, and I'll say this.
Oh, you don't ask the other part of the question, huh?
The other part of the question. No, we're asking.
about doing both. I thought about
No, but
doing
we're doing honorable. I mean, President, we are
Oh,
President.
okay, I got it.
But
That's
since
okay.
Mama, let me ask you: do you believe President Weah is capable himself of formulating a vision that he himself can articulate? That's the question. Do you hear me?
Well, I don't think so. I don't think so. And the people who brought about Propo, the Propo, they didn't do well for him. Because I think they came in power to make the people poorer. And I like to speak to the people, the market women, or market women down there, or Yana boys, or wheelbarrow boys, and my unfortunate children in the streets. President Weah came and people, he said, your poor, I will take you from the mat and I'll carry you to a mattress. That means you are going to make the area good for you to be able to sell your market, make plenty of money. The interest rate were going to be low. You're going to take small loan, you'll pay small money on top. But all the things President Weah said, maybe in your mind he wanted to do it. But the surrounding, the ministers, I'm not saying he's not liable, he's responsible for my people. Because even when you turn chief, and you in a town and you see bad things going on while your children are doing the wrong thing, to make you look bad, you will move the children from there and you will put other people there, and people market with me are lying. You will put somebody else that you say, look, they time here, we got law here. We got to go according to the law. This is what we say we do for all people. But we're not doing it. I see you're doing different things, my children. So I will find you, or I will put you on one side. I will bring in new people to work with the town chief. That's what President Weah should have done for us. But the people got poor, they market, the market on the street, or what people can't even buy because they don't have money. Now they're telling you, President Weah telling you now, my people, the first time, I can't do nothing for you. You're voting me because you like me. Wow, handsome man, handsome boy, black diamond. This time I can't again. You play vote for me, oh. You vote for me. Because I find man, I talk, so you vote for me. Why? Is this what you're going to do? You got to open your app up, because if you vote for President Weah again, the suffering will be more. All the people voting for Joseph Baga now, he will suffer them to the end, because you know he cannot forgive, including myself. He will not even want to speak to me. So I'm just saying to your market women, you're not boss, you open your eyes, you open your ear. All the things that our president said you're going to do, he didn't do it. He didn't feel sorry for the people. Instead, he felt sorry for his minister then. He didn't do it. And all the things he said he started, they're not true, my people. You all saying that right here, the same Unity Party government started building roads, started building market houses. Of course, he built few market houses, but majority of the things you see today, they road from Raleigh to Kanta, that who built it, Unity Party. They road from Kanta to Senegal, who built it, Unity Party. They road from Kanta to Guinea Bola, because I went there the last time, who built it, Unity Party. Yes, they road in Fishtown, who built it, Unity Party started that. They almost in a only small portion that left that the government in there. So when you go now, you earn all the small portion what the government leave, and you can't say that you pay all the road. And it is not true. So saying you don't got a vision and you ain't able to fire nobody when they corrupt, when they steal government money, all of them building mansions that pay mansions. Well, right now, I don't know what they're thinking about, but they have sent all their wives, their children, their girlfriends to Ghana, Gambia, and America. Why? So you're the market women children now. You're the Yana boss that you now. You ain't got that. So what they planning, my people? I'm gonna listen. What are they planning before they sending all the wives and children to Ghana, Gambia, Guinea, America? What are they planning? You open your apple. If you don't want to stress or you don't want to suffer, don't make sure that you vote for JMP. Number one, the picture with. Yeah, right on, my people. I brought it tonight. You see the number one?
Yeah.
The man and man, number one. You vote number one, man and man. Don't go to the man and woman down there.
Don't even go down. Just start with number one.
You should vote for that.
Thank you, Mama.
So you can see, market women, my old man,
You're
And you're not
serious.
bothered. My children on the street, your people, they ain't one suffering.
I go to Fatima. Fatima, this the same question, but I will phrase your question in this way. If we put president, we are in a room, nobody there. We gave you one pen, one ink pen, we gave you one paper. We say go read a vision for the country. You think you will read vision?
But the man got to see first before he get vision. The man can see. Can see how he will get vision, my people. From the first of all, we the Liberians, we are our own problem. We are cause of our own problem. They man came to us and said to us that debate I will eat. Everybody started going with it. That debate will eat 2017. The man was overwhelmingly elected by his people. They say he won the election. And all of them were asking for debate. They said, no, that debate will eat. That debate will eat. The man never told us nothing we're going to do for the country. We took our country, sorry for way. We say we want war, we want problem. We give it to him. But you know what? Looking back, I think a good thing we did. Let them make and produce. Let people see the thing they make and do. And in the end, Babu show his black hand. Up to today, I heard a man at an endorsement program on Sunday. The man was doing his own war cry. Before you can't catch you there, at all. The man never said nothing he's going to do in the second term. He have not articulated anything that he was going to do for our people. That's why I can tell the VAR people. Say he took Greater and carried on the Cape Man Road 3 years ago, and the Greater broke down there. It's still sitting down there. So, my people, you open your eyes. George Weah has filled in everything in his life besides war best, Africa best, European best. He came to Liberia, open clothing store or sports store. It miserably failed when he sleep with any guy getting one t-shirt until that other one broke down. He never built anything for himself besides our 16th Street apartment, which was leaking. One time, his counterpart from Nigeria came to visit him, and they carried the boy to the place. And the boy asked, "Oh, that George Weah house here." The minister like said, "No, they want it. That just something you can chill for. You gotta be one somewhere." Never did anything. No house, no school, nothing. In less than 6 months after we make him president, all of a sudden he got condominiums, houses upon houses. So I would tell market in the market. They say if the Christmas will be good, you will see it on the eve. Market man will get a man says, yeah, he was dancing buka. He surrounded our country with so kush, our children name. Now we have a kush nation. He have Bukarized our country. And then when he passed, Bukarization is the context of the day he dancing. He not tend to Sunday Bush dancer. All day he bring it on the day that he Sunday Bush man. He have turned our whole entire country into a dump. You laughing, Gibson? He not turn our whole country into a dumper hero. Dirty country. The place dirty. And it's like there is two different Liberia. It's like the Liberia for the Weahs and the daughters of Weah and the sons of Weah and the regular sedition in the Liberian people. Because for the people to say, honestly, I will stop with this. For the people to say George Weah has been the best president since 1847, I think I don't children that were born after the war. Because before the war, I was a turbo baby. I was born in the 70s. I was going to JJ. We used to hang on the hockey bar. We used to play. We used to ride bicycle. We live good life. Our children, we used to have siesta. We used to have normal days team. We used to play with dog baby, not many other private park. But this time, Liberia, for them to say this is the best, we used to drive on smooth road. Our parents, they used to have driver. Now the person, if this is the best that George Weah can do, let's take our country from him.
Thank you.
It's not fit.
I'm gonna go to my brother Jerome before I go to before I go up to Fagon and my brother Abdullah. Jerome, I will say this to you. All of President Weah's life, when he came to the presidency in 2007, he said book was not important. He articulated no vision. This is a global era where our leaders have to function at a very high level. Leadership is not a child's plaything. In your own mind, has President Weah presented a vision to this country that is going to transform the lives of most of our people? And what is that vision? I give it to you, brother.
Oh, God. You know what makes me laugh always is Dwalo, former George Weah supporter, now enemy of George Weah. Eugene Fagon, former George Weah supporter, now enemy of George Weah. Jimama Wolokoli, former supporter of George Weah, now enemy of George Weah. Fatima Salib, former close body of George Weah, now enemy of George Weah. Mame, I don't know too much, but they say you former George Weah too, but I'm not going to go there because I'm not sure.
I've never supported George Weah, ever. So that's a lie.
Okay, thank you for that clarification, but somebody will produce evidence for that.
Nah, no clarification.
I have 8 things here that I wrote down that George Weah could boast of, that you may not think is important, but they are. George Weah does not have to promise additional things. He just need to finesse
his vision.
To make good what he already has. Let me give you a few examples. When Eddie left, there was very few people that had electricity in their homes. Today, I live way there in Dwasson. Electricity is going to Dwasson now as we speak. More people in Liberia today can turn on their TV, can turn on their lights, and not sleep on a candlelight. Now, you think this is not important, but it is important to that Kema you were talking to just now. Because Kema can now buy her $5 LEC credit and put a light on that she never had before when JMB and Ellen was there. Ellen and JMB were able to manage $10 billion from the international community, but they were not able to do that. Let me give you another one. You said George Weah had not done anything, or he don't even know how to do anything. But you have to understand that when I was going to school, I had to hustle to pay my high school fees. Today, nobody has to hustle to pay their high school fees. You don't have to hustle to go to your uncle, I used to go to Alango to my auntie to give me money to pay for my wire fee. Nobody does that anymore. You don't have to worry about that. Now, another thing, let me give you another thing. Look at the University of Liberia. As much as there are still challenges, but the university students today at the University of Liberia or all public university, they don't have to worry about paying for credit. All they need to do is to register. And you think that it is not important. But you know what? That's Samuel Momi, that all the way in West Point, whose son is going to the University of Liberia, that he does not have to pay for credit anymore. He is appreciative of what George Weah has done. Let me go to one more, because I don't have a lot of time, so I will just jump over some of these things. Listen, let me give you a more practical one. That when any government take over, one of the major things you have to make sure that exists is to maintain peace and tranquility. George Weah as a tolerant person. Everything you can curse the man. Some crazy people can curse the man, but the man has maintained a tolerant, peaceful, and tranquil country that you can go now. Now, Fatima just went there. I don't know whether she stayed there. She just went there and she came back. But she went there, nobody hurt her. Nobody, even though she been talking all kind of things about George Weah, nobody did anything to her. Nobody cursed her. Nobody beat her. Nobody attacked her. She came back and said the country that a criminal country. That's the service to your own country. Let me give you one more. I got plenty here. I don't want to. Let's look at diversity.
About 30 seconds, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Look at the diversity that the man has encouraging his government. Jimama Wolokoli was now a sedition. She worked in George Weah government. All the people that cursed George Weah when he was campaigning to be president, all of them, some of them are working in government. You know why? You know the negative about it? If I were in George Weah government, I'll tell you, say, winner takes all. These are the same people that are undermining his government. These are the same people that undermine. So when you say George Weah vision, were you able to run a vision? Are you kidding me? Do I know the mega masters? You don't get master, you didn't say, man, able to run anything. Are you not doing anything? So it's not realistic. Look, you can conjecture here. Let me just say this for the last one, 10 seconds. All of you here can conjecture that George Weah is a criminal, he's a killer, he's a this, he's a that. All of you are speaking out of envy, jealousy. You're just jealous of them. You're able to reach level, you're just jealous.
Listen.
All you're doing.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate that. But by the way, by the time I was out of graduate school, President Weah has not had a high school diploma. Let me tell you that one. But before I go to Meme, I want to make Eugene Fagon last year. You spoke to a few things. First of all, since President Weah came to power, he has not 1 ounce, 1 megawatt of power has not been brought in the country by President Weah. The hydropower dam was built under the Ellen Johnson administration. The power station pulling out of the Ivory Coast was initiated under the Ellen Johnson. President Weah has not brought 1 light bulb of power to Liberia. It's a continuation of what was begun under Ellen Johnson's study with the hydropower plant. He has not done a single thing. Number 2, school fees in Liberia. Most of the public schools, they pay fees despite what you say here. YFE are only paid in 9th and 12th grade. The issue of security in the country, it is the Liberian people who want security. George Weah has not done that. But let me go to Meme with this issue. Meme, we talk about vision, even though our brother Jerome did not speak to the issue of vision. And I want you to speak to the Liberian people. Have you heard President Weah's vision for the country going forward? And is that vision, if you've heard about it, is it sufficient to provide employment and change the living standard of the people in Bomi, Kema, Lima, the Southeast, all the Liberian people? Is it sufficient, or has he spelled that out? I will give it to you, Meme. You have 2 minutes, brother.
In development studies, there is something we call the beautification of poverty. One way to put it is simple way, we offer no offense to anybody. You know the thing sometimes men who go on shows can put the face beat. They call it the face beating of poverty. I can be having scarf on my face. I put face beat. I look good. When I take out the face beat, the mask still remain there. I've not gone to the doctor to establish why it's there to be able to solve it. So it is the beautification of poverty. Most of the projects that President Weah implement are projects aligned with what we call the beautification for poverty. I will go into that. But Gibson, you hear talking about electricity, the people don't have power. We're sending power to Ivory Coast. You hear talking about electricity? The people don't have power, but we're sending power to Ivory Coast. And the only reason why we're sending power to Ivory Coast is because the government failed on a responsibility to invest in the distribution and transmission mechanism of the power they inherited from the Salif administration. That's the only reason. They inherited power, they inherited energy that they're only supposed to invest in the distribution of. Their failure to invest in that distribution is the reason why now, since no means to transport it to the people's houses, they're sending it to Sierra Leone, to Ivory Coast. Then you can't hear you talk about power. You're talking about YFE, which is $60 in 12 years. But you know what it did? They increased taxes on our people. A simple tax that they increased on our people, and I did the calculation for you, was a 3-day free call. During early time, if you had a 3-day free call, you are only spending $1,830 in 5 years. Doing George Weah, because he canceled a 3-day free call, you're spending $3,050. That is almost $2,000 more. Give the people that 3-day free call, they will have more than $2,000 to take $60 from to pay their children YFE.
What's the correlation between YFE and phone call?
The correlation there is you pay $60 to somebody, but you took $3,050 from them to increase taxes. That's the correlation.
Now, Marv, how for you?
Private company. The private company.
Oh no, it is not just a private company.
You don't know about surcharges, then you can't.
You don't know about surcharges, Gibson.
And also, Mame, don't forget about the harmonization or how you harmonize that. Thank you.
The surcharges is the government increased taxes on the company, so the company to increase the cost of service.
Thank you.
But because Ellen refused to increase taxes, so they maintain a 3-day free call. If you just give the people a 3-day free call, they will save $2,050 every 5 years that they can use to take $60 from to pay that. Just stop doing this thing to our people. On the beautification of poverty, and we can leave the thing about it because I want to spend all my time on it. We can leave the harmonization. But I know harmonization took a whole lot from people that everybody knew about. If you just give the people a salary back, they will pay their children fees. Lastly, beautification of poverty. Go to PHP. No clinic. The children there do not have school to sit in. The young people there who beating blacks need small money to be able to invest into improving their businesses. No clinic. People are dying from poor sanitation. What the people need in PHP is not a playground that our children will not play in. They need a better school that our children will sit in and learn. They need healthcare facilities. The women in PHP and the young men need soft loan to be able to increase their businesses and improve their income. That's what they need. But when you build big back there, you beautify in the poverty. That's why they call it beautification of poverty.
Thank you so much.
That's solving the problem.
Thank you. Fagon, I'm going to give you a free penalty to take this thing home. It's up to you. I'm not even going to ask you the question because you're more than understood it. You're muted.
Can you give me 10 minutes? Can you give me 10 minutes to respond to Mommy?
After Fagon.
Every day you were big. You were big.
No,
Every
I'm going
day
to
big.
the man talking about elementary student.
All day you will be begging. Yeah, let people talk, man.
Yes,
your friend ain't get big when you talk. Your friend ain't get big.
Okay, boss man, take your time. The next thing I'll talk after you.
Go ahead. Fagon, go ahead.
What day you begging? If that job is good for you, call to him. Because the last time I checked, Kev used to listen when 12:30 he can't talk it. But you call when 12:30 and you talk it in reverse. We have a problem with you. 12, the job too big for him. 12, the job too big for him. I think maybe we'll call Kev back and maybe it will help you. Yeah, man. Gibson, you are in responding to Fatima, you said. You talking about Tabata? Look at now, electricity is going to Toison. Where I now live, electricity is going. It's not the same as electricity is there. I'm there. I live there. No electricity there. Mama, I'm telling you, we produce more power to the extent where a day you get 2 children, you go 10 cup of red. But you don't have no dishes to divide the red. So the red leave in the pot. You understand that phenomenon, that concept? We got the power. Yeah, Mama clapping for me. I'm the former Deputy Minister for Information, Gibson. We get a power. All that was needed, like Mama said, was distribution and transmission. Your godfather went and took 350 million. He said he will hustle for 60 million for transmission and distribution. He bring it. He sent 12 to La. Say he exported current. Gibson, I will carry that thing over there. It's not the same as I put it over there. It's there already. So don't fool us. Gibson, you say high school fees. Gibson, I lie. High school students are paying their high school tuition. Junior high paying it. If you talk about wise fee, then Gibson, you way behind. Because the people are making 150 minimum wage according to the Decent Work Act. You understand me? 150 times 12 months is 1,800. You harmonize them to $50. If somebody makes $50 times 12 months, which is a year, it means they're making 600. You still owe the person 1,200, Gibson. So the wires fees is $60. Take out your $60 from the 1,200. You still owe them $1,140. Gibson, I'm talking that your president talking at the State of the Nation. And he said, Mr. Speaker, it will require $6 billion to put these people money back. I call on the legislature to include it in the budget and approve it. Allah, Gibson. Gibson, you're not able to enjoy it to be for you. Gibson, you talk about tuition fee, free university. Gibson, the tuition, the registration fee, the library fee, when you combine all the fees, it's even more than the tuition. You should have left the tuition. Because the tuition provided buses. But you saw the NTA bus appear before the Senate. What did he say? Now they're paying $18,000 for the buses. Students not get buses. Lester Tenney told you, he said he didn't get Blabo. Yeah, me, yeah, I get Blabo. And I get a truck, then I get a Westy, yeah, and yeah. They pay the non-permanent backup. Get see, the university did not get it. So why you took the tuition from there? just to make the students dull. And that's why they pay you. Gibson, you talk about a man being tolerant. They can cause a man, they cause a pa. Okay, Gibson. How can a person be tolerant and somebody go order you, 6 of them die in less than a month? That tolerant there? Are you tolerant? You tolerant before? Wait now. You tolerant before William V.S. Tubman's son was butchered from the back? You tolerant before William R. Tubman's son was butchered? You tolerant because before the same man that man you, the EPS officer, you can't tell us that he shoot a set 3 times in the head. Can you explain that to Colonel E. Remy Gray from the army? That they may put 3 bullets in his own head? Gibson, you can be tolerant on the surface, but evil under. Gibson, imagine the people that have worked with George Weah from 2005 to this 2023. And George Weah looking at you today. And those people hungry. But you look at Henry Costa, he feed him 2 weeks to election. That's not tolerance. When you don't speak to your friend, that's not tolerance. When you call a speech for Jimama Walla call it, that's not tolerance. It means you're tolerant. It means you're evil. Last but not the least, you said it may encourage diversity in his government. My man, please post lie in my ear if I'm lying on Gibson. He said the man, and I'm quoting him, encourage diversity in his government. Gibson, I mean, I go to school. Diversity means we're different. You different, are different, create different. We all come together. We come from diverse background, diverse tribal background, diverse cultural background. Hey, the Israeli didn't want to play with our system. Israeli, your leader. What I saw. You said it may encourage diversity. I end on this note. You don't encourage diversity when you promote the pro-tem to come from the Southeast and your tribe, or the speaker to come from the Southeast. Then the deputy speaker will come from the Southeast. Then the chief justice will come from the Southeast. Finance minister, listen, Southeast. Information minister, Southeast. Gibson, Jerry say Southeast. Information minister, Southeast. Gender minister,
Southeast.
Defense minister,
Southeast.
Minister of State,
Southeast.
Minister of Transport,
Southeast.
Minister of Public Work,
Southeast.
Maritime Affairs,
Southeast.
Liberian Revenue Authority,
Southeast.
National Port Authority,
Southeast.
Central Bengal Bureau,
Southeast.
National Housing Authority,
Southeast.
Yeah, you can't even pop it now.
Institute for Public Administration,
Southeast.
Legis,
Southeast.
FDA,
Southeast.
Now we're not going to tolerant. You tolerant before you scary. How do we know you scary? It's because the people you put in charge of security, let's name them. You just gave me Southeast. The police RG
at Southeast.
NSA boss.
Southeast.
Fire service.
Everything Southeast.
EPS boss.
Southeast.
DEA boss.
Southeast.
Immigration boss.
Southeast.
It means you're not tolerant, you scary. When you put a whole nation's security.
Thank you. Thank you, Paco.
Gibson, you're not able to job.
Can you give me 10 seconds?
Listen, I'll give you 10 seconds.
20 seconds.
Yo, listen now. No, I will get the brother 30 seconds. Listen now. 1 second, but I'm going to Gibson right away. But after Gibson, I want my sister Fatima.
Hey, y'all miss one thing. Y'all miss one thing, please. NEC boss.
Southeast.
Southeast.
After that, because I want the guys from the background to come in so we can take a few calls, but Gibson will have his 30 seconds. But after that, Fatima, I want you, 1 second, Gibson. I want you, after the 30 seconds, to speak to the young women in the country. Why it's so important for
president. Listen, Joey, I say, I'm messing my man for go power.
Fatima, please, I beg you. After Gibson, you got 30 seconds.
All right.
Thank you very much for the 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I see why Fagon get 4 associate degree. Because his line of reasoning is so cool. Listen, Fagon, the Southeast is not a county. The Southeast is not a county. You know how many?
We're not talking about county here. We're talking about the region.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
If I go, get him a chance. Get him a chance.
I got 10 seconds.
We're talking about county. We're calling all the people from here.
If I go. Let me finish.
Interrupt me.
Let me finish. Go ahead, Gibson. Go ahead, sir.
Nima County alone. My man, keep quiet. Nima County alone have 20 officials. You want me to name them? Princey Johnson, Moses Dwopo, George Gantor, Lance Moyon, Sima Doyen, Harrison Conway, Robert Tingman. There are 20 of them I can name, and I put it in the chat room. I put it in the chat room for your understanding. That's what we call county driven. The Southeast have so many counties. So do you mean when George Weah is president, so nobody else should come from the Southeast to serve if they qualify? So if the pro tem was voted by his colleagues,
you can name the pro for the Western region now.
If I go away, let me finish. Let me finish. Go ahead, Gibson. Go ahead, Gibson.
I want to say you get four associate degree for truth. You are telling us today, Liberia, you want to mislead Liberia that because Joshua is president, if anybody who is qualified from Grand Julius should never be in the government because they were
That's
already
not what
there.
he said, Gibson. Let's go ahead.
If anybody from Sando, they should never be there. If anybody from Maryland, they should never be there because Joshua already president. Is that your line of reasoning?
5 seconds.
Thank you.
It's completely wrong. I'll give you another. I'll give you the Lothian officials.
Okay, thank you so much.
Right now, so you can see how many officials from Lofa, how many officials from Nima, and you can give a flimsy information.
Make it.
It's so poor. It's a poor analysis.
Thank you, Gibson. Thank you, Gibson. I want you to understand something though. Before I give it to my sister Fatima, the Southeast makes up less than 15%. Listen now, no, it's not a question. The Southeast makes up about 15% of the country's population, but over 60% of people in the higher echelon of the government. This is disproportionate.
I left our Ministry of Commerce.
No, if I go, hold on. The bulk of the population is not equally represented in government. This is the point he's trying to make. Disproportionately,
20 people from Nima alone in
no,
government.
These are not He's not appointed. He's a soldier. Some of the names are listening, they're elected official, they're a soldier, they have statutory mandate. But I'll go to Fatima because
I agree on that because
I want to name the heads of institutions.
You guys talk about pro tem, you will run away. You know, was elected, you might not be in government because
listen, Fagon. Let's go to Fatima. I wanted to speak
to
our young women.
You will run away.
Fagon, I hold your phone. Because it's important to me. I want Fatima to speak to the young women.
And then guess you when I will know that you can't hear all of this. Not because it's on the TV, now you must be carry on.
This is very important.
Fatima, you are treading on my ground.
What kind of man is so?
You can't do nothing to me. I still let you bow away.
Fatima, yeah, one question here, Mama. Hold your phone. Our young women there are being misguided. I believe under President we are being abused. And as their big sister, I want you to talk to them why it's so important that President Weah must go or stay. I give it to you, Mama.
Well, I'm speaking to all Liberian women, Liberian girls. I'm here to tell you why George Manneh Weah is bad for Liberia. First of all, I want you to see that under George Weah, yes, to educate our women. Under George Weah, women have been marginalized. For the last several years, even his vice president, he sidelined her. Just recently, because of the election, he brought her closer. Girls, women in his government, if you are not sleeping with George Weah, nothing, it was earned on merit basis. So some of our parents, our women refused. Most of the time you see young girls, ambitious young women who went to school, earn a living, wanted to work, you had to sell your soul to become who you want to be. It shouldn't be like that. We don't want that for Liberian young girls and women. Some girls graduated from high school and college. They have absolutely nothing to do. They are country. They are there. I have a personal story. A girlfriend of mine that I went to high school with, beautiful girl. I went to Liberia. I saw her. She is suffering from depression. She lost all her front teeth. She said she been just struggling. Hardship. She was so depressed. She lost her mind. Why? She couldn't find job. She couldn't do anything for herself. She had to sleep with several men just to earn a living. That's not the kind of Liberia we want. We want everything on merit basis. If you go to school, you earn an education, you should be able to apply for a job based on your qualifications. You should be hired. That's what we want for our young women. Women should have equal part, play equal roles on the table. Women should be able to say who, when, and how. Young girls should be able to play with dolls and not men's private part. A young girl should have time to enjoy her youth. She should not be molested by a guy because her parents are unable to take care of her. We want a Liberia where parents are working, papa goes to work and come home with plastic bag for children, bring candy and cookies. We don't want a Liberia where our young girls are going to lay on their back with young men. My people, the time has come where there is a man who believes in the integrity of women, who believes in empowering women, and his name is Joseph Nyuma Boakai. This old man, you don't have to go ask you to sleep with him. He don't have to go ask you just for you to become somebody. You must go lay down with him and all his people. He wants a better future for you. He wants women to rise again and become equal partners in their country. He don't want young girls to be trafficked. They got some women there that just got young girls and living with them to go sleep with these government officials. My people were begging you. As that girl told me that day, she said she graduated 2 years and she have absolutely nothing to show for it. That's why she wore diapers, because her future was on the ballot. I'm going to be like that young girl. I'm going back to Liberia. I will wear my own diaper, will protect those votes like a hawk. Liberia, our entire society depends on this. I'm telling you, women, young girls, all over, I want you to be like my daughter, Mariam. She's in college. She's doing her own thing. She's choosing her own life. That's the kind of Liberia we want. We don't want a Liberia where our children are marginalized, our girls are on drugs, where Kush Nation is the order of the day. We don't want that type of Liberia. We want a Liberia where our people can say yes. We say yes, we say no. That's the kind of Liberia we want. Give me something to talk about. Let us know that girls are valuable. Young girls are valued. That's the kind of Liberia we want. We don't want Liberia, our people just sleeping around with our girls. The girls are not educated. They're selling market. Children running around broad daylight when they're supposed to be in school. Some of them in the market. Why? That's not the kind of Liberia we want, my people. Young girls, please, your vote for your future. Your vote for education. Your vote for a better Liberia. Your vote for Joseph Nyuma Boakai and Jeremiah Kpankun. Please, my people, we begging you. We asking you to put yourself, lift yourself. You will not be there for men to talk down to you, have orgies. The other time when Maleneka told me, she said, oh, how they can do all this stuff. 2, 3 men, we can't sleep with them. 3 girls, we can't sleep with them. Hey, my people. And that's what we want. We want you to say yes at the appropriate time, to say no when you don't want to go to school, empower yourself, and give back to Liberia. Hey, my people, that's what we want.
Thank you so much,
Please
Fatima.
vote for Joseph Nyuma Boakai and Jeremiah Kpankun. They will change your lives.
Thank you so much. I don't know if the guys in the back are coming to take a few calls, but before they come in, says Jemima, you want to have a minute to speak to the young women in the country, why it's more important for them to have President or they should go with Honorable Boakai if their future is better with what option. So speak to the young girl. You got 1 minute until the guys come in to take some calls. Says your mama, did you hear the question? We can't hear you, says your mama. We still cannot hear you. So while we're waiting on you, we're going to go to say, Dr. Francine. Dr. Francine, you have any message for the young women?
You know, I want to stick on the message of sexual and gender-based violence as spoken about by Fatima. You know, the researchers believe that rape is the second highest crime in Liberia. It does not have to be that way. And part of the reason I believe that it is that way because our justice system do not respect women. Our justice system is one of the reasons why women are marginalized. When women are raped or they are violated in our country, when they go to the court, the family people say, "Yalla can let's talk it the family way." And when we talk it the family way, a lot of times it is at the detriment of a woman. Okay, so men in our country, they have power, and once you have power, you will control other people around you, which is like the women or your children. So I'm asking women, you make up 49% of the country population. Stand up. Let your voice be heard. Tell the Liberian people who can do you best. We can no longer wait for men to make the rules for us or to make our country better. We have to be at the table. In fact, if you have to bring your own table, you bring your own table. So that's my message to the young women.
All right, Sage Mama, can you hear us now? Do you want to? We can't hear you. We can't hear you. So I'm gonna go to Fagon. I don't know if you guys are coming on. After Fagon, then we'll do the closing for the night. Fagon, do you want to speak to the young men in the country? Just for a couple minutes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Okay, Fagon, one second.
Can you hear me now?
Mama, yes, we can. Go ahead. Speak to the young women in the country. Have about a minute.
Yeah. I should do what?
Speak to the young women in the country.
Get it clear.
Okay. Can you speak to the young women in the country? Okay. Why President Weah is bad for them and why they have a better option with Honorable Boakai?
Well, they have a better option because there will be, for me, Honorable Boakai's administration, the schools will be better, policies will be better, where the women will not have to sleep with the ministers and directors, and where they will not be threatened by the government. And we are paying your school fees, we're paying your wire fees. All those things are intimidation. Because first of all, if you're paying wire fee for all the young girls in Liberia and the young boys and whatever, I don't think you should be talking about it so frequently because it is your obligation to the people of Liberia, to the students of Liberia, the young people of Liberia. If you love them, you don't have to throw it in their faces. You don't have to make it look that they are obligated to you. Can you imagine when they graduated the other day, they had to go to CDC party headquarters to go and tell the president, thank you for what? No, that was wrong. Because the money you took to pay the wires fee and the school fee, the so-called school fees you're talking about, those are all taxes that have been paid by the parents of this nation, the business people, the citizens of this nation. So it is not your personal money that you took to pay wire fee. So I want to tell the young girls that they should vote for JMP because their lives will be better. They will live a decent life. They will not have to sleep with anybody to make it. They will not have to do it. They will focus on the lesson. They will be able to go to school, study, pass, and be like Dr. Richardson, be like me, or be like Mrs. Kumar. So you don't have to obligate yourself to things like that. You will be able to protect your dignity. Now,
thank you.
I'd like to quickly, Dralu, just 1 minute because you gave. I see that Mr. Gibson is not dominating the show like how Kev used to dominate the show. If Gibson is here to speak on behalf of the government, we are here to speak on behalf of Unity Party. I think it should be balanced. It is not fair, even though we like him, yes, I'm a brother, but let's make it very, very balanced. When he makes some alteration that is not correct, I think he should come back to us, like how Standard does it. Oh, Enter Jamaica, I need to say to what Mr. Gibson has said, but he will come back and add more onto it, which is totally wrong. And I feel that the women on this show have been treated unfairly. I'm sorry. But let me just give him one or two, then I can just get off quickly. Now, he's talking about program that Dr. Weah
Let's take Dwalo from the show. Let's take Dwalo from the show. We don't want him.
thing, please, I will not entertain that. Other people do, I won't. Because when you're speaking, I don't interrupt. Because I'm very trained. I got shut up, but I'm very trained. You don't see me ever interrupting you. Now, the Bali Island, these are the projects that George Weah said he was going to do, President Weah said he was going to do. I went to that program. Bali Island was going to be built. It was never built. The overpass. You know the overpass the guy in America to be able to contain the traffic and make sure reduce the traffic. He broke down houses on the boulevard. He broke down my friend's place, Musudo. He broke down, they even want to break down Kalano. And I was begging, like, no, you can't do it. It's totally wrong. Luckily for us, as God will have it, they didn't break Kalano house down. He built it down. But he promised that road from all the way SKD Boulevard, all the way passing Musu spot going down. They failed on that. Those were the projects that they initiated in the house that they were going to do. They never did it. Then the Coastal Highway was one of the things that I really clapped for during the inauguration, me and my children. We clapped, and I said yes. He said from Mount Kidman to Maryland, there will be a Coastal Highway. He didn't do it. Then, the new Finland campus was built on by the early Sally regime, which is Unity Party. The ministerial complex was built on what? Unity Party. We can go on and on. But I'm saying to you, if they had only 3 or 4 projects that they wanted to do, they should have done it. They didn't do it. They let us down. The only thing they did that everyone all know of is that each government official paved the road with quota going to the house. Let the Liberian people know any house you see in Joazon, Cinco, wherever it is, just see the quota, new quota going straight and into the gates. They don't care about the Liberian people. They only want to fix the road that was going straight to the houses, and you can see it. It's very, very clear. You understand? They build mansions. They build houses. What did the president think on when he talked on when he built 47 large buildings in 4 months' time? And now you're telling me that George Weah is my enemy? No, he's not my enemy, Mr. Gibson. You don't like George Weah more than me. No, every one of us in Liberia like George Weah, but we don't like the way he ran our country over the past 6 years. No, that's what we don't like. The issue is he did not govern his people. He had bad governance. He did not govern his own cabinet minister and the people that were honoring him. He should have directed them in the way where he was supposed to take control. He didn't do it. George Weah is not our enemy. Nobody hates him, but it's the things that he has done over the years that got us speaking today. And don't say that I was in the government enjoying and I'm not a citizen. Yes, right now I'm not a citizen because I resigned on the 25th of September. I resigned and I'm giving my support to Unity Party. So do not say she's not even a citizen and she was doing it. No, I was one of the founding members of CDC. On that faithful Sunday at George Weah House, we were only 11% that founded that party. So you need to, like I said the last time, Brother Gibson, you need to do a thorough research. Or those who send information, maybe they don't even know what they're doing themselves, and you yourself, you're novice to politics when it comes to real politics in Liberia. So get all your facts and you come on the Sunday. I am a founding member of CDC, but for right now, I'm not a citizen. I've resigned, and I stay home my integrity. I'm a woman of integrity. So whatever we discuss, we're just discussing. We have no high feeling. We have no hatred for George Weah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So we're going to do our closing because the guys are not coming on for tonight. We're going to start with my brother Mehmet.
I beg you.
Oh, Fagon, I forgot.
Yeah.
Listen now, Fagon, you have to speak to the... Yeah, hold
on.
Listen, Fagon has to speak to the young people. The young men in the country, why they cannot waste the vote behind President Weah.
Let me hear Fagon before I speak.
Okay, Fagon, without interruption for anybody, including myself, you have 2 minutes.
Thank you.
2 minutes or just...
I will even make it short. To you, the young guys, you have a future. You heard Gibson arguing just now, from the region and this and that. You guys are young. And I'm referencing you to Article 5 of the Constitution. Article 5A. The second sentence says, oh, the Republic shall, in fact, I'll read the whole thing in A. Aim at strengthening the national integration and unity of the people of Liberia, regardless of ethnic, regional, or other differences, into one body politics. And the legislature shall enact laws promoting national unification and the encouragement of all citizens to participate in government. That means from Cape Mount, Bombay, Bapolu, Casey can never produce 20 lists. We were 3, 2 appointed, 1 elected. Setuma, Senator, Sam Bana, and myself. Finish. That was it. You guys are the young people. They're bringing drugs to you every day. They want you to take kush. Corruption, money laundering, extrajudicial killings. You see it all. How many factories have they brought? How many investors have they brought? Unity Party borrowed 800 million. We look around, we see the road going straight to Buchanan, a paved, no hole. They redid the road to Bomi, no hole. They paved the road from Morocco straight to Ganta, to Saniquili. Your man King, he borrowed 2 times that amount, 1.6 billion. The people put a machine there and produce the current. Only to share the current without 1.6 billion. You're not able. To build new road, you go on the Ralphie Highway, you will die. You're not able. The road that people left from Morea to Bomi, they brought BB truck, a D-hole there. I want you to understand something. Go and sit down and read Article 77 after Article 5. The last sentence says, laws, regulations, decrees, or measures, in the case of what George Weah has done, or measures which might have the effect of creating a one-party state shall be declared unconstitutional. You bring your family, you bring your days. You, the young people, drugs will not help you. For 6 years, if they did not do anything for you, that in 2 weeks now, the money they gave you, that it will bring you back, your second suffering will be great. That is why Amara Kone said, do not lick honey from a razor blade. Do not lick honey from a razor blade. Since the government took power, you suffer. That if you did put beret on your head and gave you 25,000 for you to share in the whole community after suffering for 6 years, there's something wrong with you. The other man, after suffering for 6 years, 2 weeks to the election, he took a small amount of money for them to call him Mekentor and gave him his last name, Buka Denso. They call him Buka Fish. You don't need that. You graduated from college. You need a job. You need a family. And you need to contribute to your country. Therefore, I will sing small song for you, less than 30 seconds. Because people love to hear me sing. You did it in the first round, you must do it again. So, when y'all hear me in my corner, and I say to y'all, do it again, do it again, do it again in our land. Go out and vote for your progress. Do it again for your country. I respectfully submit.
Thank you so much. So because of this, we're going to go directly to the closing. I'll go to Gibson first. You can incorporate what you had to say into your closing, and then we'll go from there, brother. Go ahead, brother Gibson.
Thank you very much. I was just downloading the list of people from Lofa alone.
That's why I get to you, man. The tell you say list on the internet.
Let me go ahead. Just remember, this is a closing
My
circle.
brother, to and myself, we don't even talk. I don't know what you're talking about, but I will. There's too many nyama things you said to respond to that. It's too difficult. I will go to the mean ones because as soon as Tabata, some of you are talking, you are not talking any sensible thing to me. Look, Fatima, I'm begging you, when you go on public show, don't denigrate your fellow women. It's not a good way for propaganda or publicity. Because you are in a position to promote somebody, so you denigrate all the women just to prove a point that people, before Joshua gave you a job, he got to sleep with you. I'm sorry, said Jemima left. She was in Georgia government.
That's what the party chairman said. I didn't say it. You heard it.
But it's a statement of fact, Jerome. Move on.
It's not a hidden secret. It's a recording.
It's not statement of fact. There are so many people I can name that Joshua put in government that they are not his girlfriend. Jemima Wolokot, who was here, did he sleep with Jemima Wolokot before giving her the job? Did he sleep with Amina Jala before giving her the Minister of Health job? Did he sleep with Isota?
Go ahead, Jerome. You're being
I'm doing my closing.
Okay.
I'm doing my closing. The Minister of Agenda, the Minister of Agriculture, Jenny Cooper. Did he sleep with Jenny Cooper before giving her a job? The Chief Justice, Sinawo Yo. Did he sleep with Sinawo Yo before appointing her? The Public Works Minister, Ruth Coker Collins. Did he sleep with her before giving her a job? Did he sleep with Mary Brown before giving Mary Brown the job to be at GSA? Did he sleep with Joe Howard Taylor before selecting her as VP?
Man, the point is made.
When you are speaking in public domain, when you are speaking in public domain, if you don't have facts or whatever anybody say, as a female, don't be the first to denigrate your friend female. This is not true. It's not true. Those of you who like Joshua, you're a personal friend of Joshua. I don't know if Joshua slept with you before being friendly with you, but I'm not going to go there. So let me go to the next thing. If I go say too many things, look, I don't say so many tabataba. I don't even know how to respond to them. So many tabataba yourself, I don't even respond to them. You're talking about 18 people from the southeast. You know how many people from Lofa? If I begin to name the people, the officials of government from Lofa, I'm not going to end today. Maxwell Kamaya, Ambassador Nora Fina Bono, Pepsi Kwiwu Yeke, Woloba Colley, Alexander Gagu, Henry Fambule, Wilhelmina Jala, Joseph Jefferson Tamakoji, Jesse Koboy. These are all ministers and directors I'm talking about. I can go down the list and go up to 25, 28 people from Lofa County alone that Joshua gave job to. What's wrong with you people? What's wrong with you people? Just because you want Joseph Boakai to be president, so you just got to lie all over the place. You just lying through your teeth. The VP you're talking about. The VP got programs in Liberia for women, for young girls. Dr. Richardson went there. She saw the place. So you just denigrate all the women just because you want to elect Joseph Boakai. This is so bad. And you people will come back tomorrow again. And when you come back tomorrow now, then your own words may your shame. When you're talking in public space, don't lie about anything. That's the problem between journalism and politics. And I'm learning fast to be a politician. Because the journalism been there, not cutting it. Because I can't be fair at the same time, and I want to be a politician. And that if I want to follow you, the way I can lie like they on air. You can just lie. No, y'all stop it. And my sister, please, I will never denigrate women like they would the way you did it tonight. Please don't do it. Just take my advice because it will haunt you tomorrow. Let's respect our fellow women.
Thank you, Justin. Thank you,
Dwalu,
Can I respond? I have to respond. He said something about me.
No, brother. Thank you so much. Then Fatima, that's your closing. So go ahead.
Yeah, that would be my closing. You just you said something. You said maybe George Weah slept with me. Is that what you really said? Oh, because can you put your mic on? What did you say?
I said because you are close to George Weah, so anybody can say that George Weah slept with you. It will not be fair to say that. That's what I said.
Okay, but let me say something. Gibson, I'm not the one that you could just come and say anything to. There is a take. And I know the character of George Weah. He was a close friend of mine. I do know his character. He sleeps with all of his friends' wife to prove a point. Okay? He's a narcissist. And I will tell you, I know the character of the man I'm dealing with. So not because you want him to favor you, which he won't. Not because you're looking for something from him that you will come here and you would have seen one caught on tape, on live video saying that he is, if he was ever, you could never vote for him.
Can I ask you
listed the reasons why you couldn't do it. You were the same person that said it. Gibson, you're not the only one with a wild mouth, because I think as a child you were not raised right. You are untrained. And I'm the last one you will say something to that I won't go back and say it to you and to your wife. Because if you insult me, I will not come and insult you directly. That shows how you treat your wife in the home. I'm not the one you're going to talk to any other type of way. I'm equally as educated. I can express myself as equally. So if you want something from George Weah, which we never gave you. Akaras Gray told me you went to see him in Liberia and they refused to see you. They refused. They didn't give you any audience. So you think by you coming here and saying all this nonsense and talking about women, you think that I would never denigrate women. I know the likes of you and George Weah. That's what you'll do. You'll try to intimidate women by telling them that in order to get A, they must sleep with you. The little men in you don't even have the penises to do it. But the little men in you are unsatisfied. That's what you do. But I will tell the Liberian women, they don't have to do that under the administration of Joseph Nima Boakai. It's not about Joseph Nima Boakai for me. It's about Liberia at the end of the day. It's about Liberia. I want you to understand that. But at this point, I cannot in good faith support George Weah. I know him. I know of his character. We've given him 6 years. And he's done absolutely nothing that we are proud of. He led our children into using kush. Our young girls have become prostitutes. Our young boys are banging their heads on walls. And you sit there. And because of money and Bella-driven ideas, you come here and promote George Weah and say, the same man you sat here on national TV and said that I could never support George Weah. If I do, then that means that I'm supporting extrajudicial killings. That means you are actually saying that he is a killer. And I do believe you. From what it's worth. And now you're here sitting because I'm not going to give you an excuse because you're 73 years old and you're seen. Now, I'm not giving you that excuse because when you run your mouth, you should be able to back it and defend it. Okay? So I am here to tell our people, my brother, can I speak VAR for 1 minute and tell the VAR people who Gibson is and what Gibson says about George Weah and what George Weah, why he's on.
You got 30 seconds.
I got my chance to speak on to
30 seconds, Jerome. Wait, you didn't ask that. 30 seconds. Go ahead, 30 seconds.
Anyway, namono wale fatu meke na me afowoye. Wo kone wo mata we to mo abwe we ya be bo pasile nkamale wa sanson no be yaye ama koko mawoye ata amabwe lo jaw mwale kamale no anu be me fe nyama bo mi na ni ake ya kush ani belaka no mo teacher no abi anu power na mo ko no anyina anu la mamusia no anu to aiso aboka no fe ni sawa na mamu anara ani afo ano gay lesbian along e kan ni so anu bo kai fe musu ni so anu bo musu fe asawa bi wa sani Sophia me komo wo kone na mo no election me jo boka ko ma ke kai ko we be yaye we ana mo bo ilonya jo wi aba nyibo yakwa mo nyama ba mo a boy pasi amo ajafe pikan abi koko ma na mabo yi komo wo kone he na mo no o ma lawaye wo November 14 me what our police and Kaikwa feel George Marakun that Joseph Boakai kai fe amu be akolo no ani number 1 we are voting na o bobo jo we akoyo amanyi mo abo yakwa bo pasile manyi wo baika kuma o ma vote ke akwa wo baika So Liberian people that, hey, George Weah, let's reject George Weah. George Weah is unfit to lead Liberia. That's where I'm coming. Thank you.
Thank you. Meme, come to you. You're closing, brother.
Yeah, my closing. I will add on this thing what we want to say to the young boys in the country. Fatima, I really admire your comeback on Gibson. Part of the reason why George Weah keep failing is his failure to recognize that a problem exists. And that's the mentality that they transfer to Gibson and other people. Prostitution is on the increase in Liberia. You do the research, you will see the numbers just increasing. Rape, domestic violence against women, young children out of school, in the street, on drugs. It's just increasing. That's the reality. Sex for job. These are not things that started with George Weah. We agree with that. But they are happening at an increasing rate. But more than the fact they're happening at an increasing rate, we have a president who is reckless and don't care. So Fatima, I like the way you came back. To the young boys in Liberia, if there is, and I want to be specific with the footballers and those who are aspiring to be footballers, if there is one thing George Weah could do for you in 6 years, was to improve football for you. That one thing, 6 years, was just to improve football for you. That is where he lived his entire life. That's where he has all his connections, quote unquote connections. If he could not do it for you in 6 years, what do you think he would do for you? Every time election coming, he brings promises. In 2017, George Weah announced that he was signing a partnership with DR Group. Google it, Front Page Africa. George Weah signed partnership with DR Group for Football Academy in Liberia. Scam. Because he was coming to election in 2017, it ran all the newspaper and all the radio stations. Today, we're in 2023. Where is DR Group? Where is the Football Academy? You took over in 2017, Liberia was at 35th place rather, in 2017. In 2022, to 149. 14 points drop on FIFA ranking. In the sub-region, we are the only country that did not qualify for African Cup of Nations, even though our president is the world best African. This man, everything is about himself. And he doesn't have the ability, he doesn't have the character to put in place system to improve it for other people. So you, the young boys, think about it. 6 years. How has football improved under George Weah? You who play in soccer and hope that when Weah become president, the Terry Henry will come, the Didier Drogba will come, all the other players who admire him and adore him, they will come, they will establish Football Academy, they will bring scouts, they will take players and take them to Europe, where it is today. It is not because he doesn't want to do it, because he doesn't just care. Even if he attempts to do it, he doesn't have the ability to follow it through in a systematic way that makes it happen for you. Don't trust him. He will not do it. I will close on this thing about wire fee they keep talking about and graduation fee. Gibson, just stop doing this thing to our people. Our people need jobs that are able to pay their children's school fees. They need investments that will come and create those jobs. You can't keep lying to the people. You're able to put chairs in school and you're talking about paying for graduation fee across the country every year. You know how many millions of dollars is that? Where are you taking money from to pay graduation fees? What we keep telling the people on this WAEC fee is a reckless policy. It's good for some people, but it's bad for some people. There are people in Liberia who actually need help to get WAEC fee, but it cannot be a blanket and reckless policy. Ministers in government children, government paying a WAEC fee, does it make sense? Lebanese in Liberia who making millions of dollars, government paying their children WAEC fee, does it make sense? Let's take for example, some 12 children, if they were in Liberia today, government will pay their WAEC fee. Does it make sense? People owning companies, millions of dollars in their account, but government taking taxpayer money to pay their WAEC fee. Does it make sense? No. The way it is done in civilized country, the way people who got their heads on their shoulder can do it, they do what they call targeting. In America, Dwalu, You can't apply for food stamp. They will not give it to you because you're above the threshold to get food stamp. It goes to people who need it the most. You must have a responsible government in place to sit down and send benchmark and say these people need YFE, these people don't need YFE. So we can't take government money and pay the YFE for Lebanese children. You can't take government money and pay the YFE for people who get millions of dollars in their account. They don't need you to pay their children YFE, but you only pay it because you want to make news. You want to pay graduation fee for people who serving as ministers, because when you go to Continental Graduate School, you have ministers there, you have business owners there, but you pay graduation fee for them. Does it make sense? These are not policies that transform the lives of our people. These are things that we call the beautification of poverty.
Thank you.
They don't solve the poverty problem. Our people need jobs. Our people need investment so that they can be proud to say, I send my child to school. Those who don't need it, those who need it most, we support them. Those who don't need it, we don't support them. We divert the money to something else. George went to Cottington and said, I will pay the entire graduation fee. But in that graduation program were ministers, were deputy ministers, were business owners, people with huge investments. Why you spend government money recklessly like that? Spend the money on those who need it most. Our people need jobs. They don't need those attitudes.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mehmet. And now we're going to go to Sister Mama to close up for 2 minutes.
Can I borrow 30 seconds from you, Sister Mama?
Sister Mama, we can't
No,
hear
I'm
you.
sorry. You got more time on the show than any other person. So I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's done.
Okay, so I'd like to do my closing by saying to the Liberian people, you all need to vote for JNB and JKK. Look at your lifestyle now within the 6 years. Can you people tell me that people have enjoyed this government? What kind of incentive have they brought to you? Look at between 6 years and now. If you think you have enjoyed the government, then let us know. Tell the reason why. But I can talk to you, I can tell you right now that you should vote for Joseph Human Baka because during my early time or during Unity Party, let me not be specific. During Unity Party time, bag of rice was $13. Everybody could afford it. Okay? The rate was 80. Right now the rate is 188. Some places 190. Is this improvement in your life or in the economy where they keep saying, oh, according to the World Bank, according to IMF, they say the poverty rate has improved. Improved where? Purchasing power has dropped miserably. Okay? Then inflation has increased. Yes, because when you have all these things going on in your life, of course the inflation will increase. 6 years, no investors. My people, you're listening to me, you're not boss, market women. No investor, all guy, you're suffering in the market. Oh, my mirror, my camera, my call, my yard. There's a reason why we can't come to buy our market because no money. It's rough. Government owe you, they can pay all the money. They pay me small money and announce it to the world. They still owe me $8,000. And many other business people who are strangulated. You got to kiss their feet. You got to do this. I have to go there and really rough it up if I can get small of my money. We don't need to do that. Then when it comes to fuel oil price going up to almost $5 US. You understand? Then you go to what? Then I want to go to what? The voter education. I want to say that in Mano because that's the only dollar I can speak right now. But all these little variables are playing in the people's lives. The bread and butter issues, like Dr. Richardson can say, which I agree with her. Once the people are fed properly and the children can go to school and they can make some money to pay their school fee, there will not be a liability on the government. But you don't use our taxes to pay our children's school fee or grandchildren's school fee, mommy. Now your own money you're paying for the table every day, you pay $10. Every day you pay $20 for that table you're selling on. That taxes to government. That money that when you can keep the combine and say we'll pay your children's school fee. that government money, that not Jowia personal money, that not anybody personal money. It's your taxes that you pay that they use it on you. Now, if you can use $50 million, $50 million, you know how much money is that? Even 1 million, you can't even finish it. $50 million on campaign. Look at the billboards. The billboard cover all the places in Murray down to the bridge that going to Rao's International Airport. And they didn't even have the conscience to leave small space for other people to put the billboards. How can you be so inhuman? How can you be so naive? Because I call it naivety. How can you do that? Give your opponent chance to be. They have the right to put a billboard up, but you line it up from here to Jamaica, all the way to Rao's International Airport on that little broken bridge because it's broken underneath there. It's cracking. It's been cracking for a while now. Why? You do not have the right to do that because every individual who is running to be president of this country has the right to put a billboards up. But you cannot do that because you are a ruling party. So many reasons. The Liberian people will vote for Joseph Jumon Parker. But let me speak shortly, Jeff, and 5 seconds in Mano. Ni mamia kato una nwegale because 14 like what I November 14. Vundo what you say November 14. Menene kwa yeka. Kolo be ko voke. Vote kwa ke benzebe. Ka zo ka seke no ka mama ka voke JMB Wayne. Ka voke Jeremiah kun Wayne ka gbe ka da wa ka gbe lórí kò bo ike a kàkà yìnyín kẹ vo ẹ mọ because no ike a ó na ó furu kẹ ẹ wá képe kó lè furu kẹ kó lè election kó lè sí by force wá képe place o kẹ ń yí lọ kí ẹ ní màmí àbẹ ẹ ń kò jọ kó warriors ká kó tó pẹnẹfẹdọ fẹdẹ ẹ kó àképe kálẹ kó la kẹ ẹ kó kẹ tó nà ń àkéka lẹ gbé pa ń lóni ń dání. Like a man, like a yama, like a ya base, like a ya so clean ho, Ominga ho, Duporo, epo SDA ho, le amo sense ma kaya le iba uwe ka le yin pe amo ko won ka pe ko je mamo ko won ka pe wo lo koli le iwe kia na ka pe le se ka jire ke vo e pie ka volunteer ke ka ke pu wa soka mi a diete won ge no me yin no mi a diete o lo doyi o pe wa ke o yin ka ko o ro furu ke o bala o da to o ro a wa poko no wa
You can go around.
Pass yi ka le ka pe le se ni ma mi a si ka benze ba de ka mo ju ha ti la keke si o vo ka kan wen South East be that San o Maryland o San o Maryland o Grand Judah o Grand Ku that ke si o vo ka kan jo wi awon le la o se so da o ke ba la o lo vo ke o gbe wen le si da ko na ka because ka ye ke pe mo jo wi awon ke te ka won ye won wa yi ka fo ya ka se no jo wi a ka se no Joseph Parker wa Jeremiah kun le because o vo ka ya ko be ko yin lo mo ko na si no pe a ko fo ya kwa se no ka Joseph Parker wa Jeremiah kun o win ka ma ka seke no so ko ya ko yin na ka mo ndani ndoni.
Thank you so much, Dr. Francine. You're closing.
Yes, I'm gonna make it quick. Dwalu, thank you so much. It was a wonderful show. You did an awesome job. I want to tell all my colleagues on this show tonight, thank you very much. Your presence here tonight suggests to me that you have a really, really strong interest in Liberia. People don't know what it takes to be on a show like this and thinking from an impromptu place. I want to just tell the women on this show, Aunt Mama, Fatima, I enjoy the women power so badly. I pray that we continue to have the women power on this show on a regular basis. I want to speak about something that I know well, trauma and sexual and gender-based violence. You know, when we have sexual and gender-based violence, something that Fatima started to talk about, the violence that include emotional abuse, yelling at a woman, calling her names, psychological abuse, doing things, not speaking to your wife or speaking to your girlfriend, hiding her things so that she won't go out. Those are all we call psychological, emotional abuse. Digital abuse, taking her phone away from her, telling her she cannot use the phone to call her people, her parents. Spiritual abuse, you getting mad at the kind of church that she would go to, or you make fun of her church. Okay. And also social media abuse, when you take a picture of a woman and start spreading it all over the social media. Those are things that we know they are prevalent everywhere. People do it everywhere, but we know that it is prevalent in our country. And what sexual and gender-based violence does, it breaks down the moral fabric and the even economic fabric, the social fabric of our society. It causes women to be more marginalized than any other society would want a woman to be. Women contribute greatly to our society. When a woman is marginalized, it comes in the form of trauma. Trauma can impact the growth of a society and the growth of women and the growth of children. And you know why? Because women are the caretaker of children. If a woman is traumatized, she suffers from depression, anxiety, she's confused. Sometimes she doesn't even know how to take care of her, show empathy, how to take care of her child. And that is the generation that you will be raising to be good citizens of Liberia. So we need to be mindful of the role that we play in contributing to trauma in our country. Trauma can also be seen in our children, in our political leaders. This greedy thing that we see, I can tie that back to trauma. When you're a child and you don't have all of the needs, your basic needs that are met appropriately, when you become an adult and you can go on the other extreme of just wanting, and that's how they end up stealing. You engage in antisocial behaviors. Women, you make up, like I said, almost 49-50% of the population. Bring your table to bring your chair, your table to the table. Do not wait to be invited by men. You will see that they have ruled our country for over more than 70-something years. We have one female president. That's what they can come and throw in our face. Oh, you have one female president, and she ruined the country. What about the other men there? All the men that are leading our country. So you need to be very active in the way that laws are promoted or changed in our country for the sake of our country. Men, we need you to be allies to women. Don't just sit there and say, oh, it's that woman thing. The women can't do it. We need you to join women because it is your children who suffer when a woman is traumatized. It is your children who suffer when the next generation is unprepared to address the ills in our society. So I want to close here by saying, men and women, if you join us and fight sexual and gender-based violence, we can make a more deserving Liberia and a better Liberia. Thank you, Dwali.
Thank you so much. So before I go, I know he will come in. I have to do my closing because I have to run, but I'll do it a little reverse. So I'm going to be the last. I know it will get in 10 seconds, but let me do my closing. And I will start with Bassa first before I go back into English. And when you're the Bonkunga Betodu Bombo, the Bezon Betodu, the Margibi, they do Obo Betodu. Person, we are get Kasi Kwan, you do Kasi Kwan mo. You can be banned, Charlie Bogabo for Chabombi. Galake, the Yabu for the garden, that young as a garden widow. Kasi Kwan, you do. Kaji Manke, or call a Buemuge, or say the new for obligation to Bopen, work your Kwani. On a Yidika Zibwenji, the sense of better way and you get on a Damu Bomio. A you Bobiage, I'll be like protected as one uniformly, Wamuga Gajing, Sugufi, as a pen as a Sugufi, you know. You managed to go Musong about the you what the chain for. They told you, President Blake, or see you more Yabi. The Bobo for them back up. So let me say this to my people. A member says something. Selected standards in the administration of government services is something we should do to serve the most vulnerable amongst us. This is crucial for governance. Number two, There is a correlation. Dr. Francine can explain it in a more intellectual term, but there's a correlation between poor economic conditions and abuse in the home. The reason why you see the prevalence of abuse all around Liberia, people are suffering. They tend to admit that suffering against people that are less vulnerable amongst them. Sometimes their wives, their children. People are angry. This is why government has to provide that enabling environment so people can thrive in that environment and meet their full potentiality. A man must have dignity in work, a dignity in his home. A woman must have dignity in her home. We must create jobs. President Weah lacks the capacity to create jobs in this country, to govern this country. If we are going to grow, we must get rid of President Weah. We must vote for Honorable Bouaka and bring responsible leadership to the presidency. The presidency that I'm play to a place, that play there for responsible people, that not Bukayes. Man, you're passing around talking nonsense. You don't know what he's doing. That I'm president there. President Honorable Bouaka is the next president, and I know you're going to vote for him because you want a brighter future for you and your children. Once again, man, gentlemen, it was a great show today, ladies, as well. I'm going to pass it over to Fagon. I got to run and go do daddy duty.
Again, if I close, Gibson will feedback.
Fagon, I am the moderator now. I'm in Dwalu Place, so you're not time for.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. The show has come to an end. We'll see you all tomorrow because we don't want you to have bad dreams. Thank you, studio. Take it from us. Thank you, Angie Mama. Thank you, Fatima. Thank you, Dr. Francine. Thank you, Gibson Jeru. And we'll call on the guys in studio to take
Angie Mama, can you send me that flyer, please? I beg you a copy of it. Can you tell the boys to send it to me in my inbox? Yeah, she can't hear me. Angie Mama, please, I want a copy of it. Can you scan it to me? And who are you to tell us what to do? Like, for real, we're not your wife. You have to have some respect. It's not, we're not your wife. I'm telling you the truth. You're very disrespectful, and that's going to be the last one.
Your emotional outburst has no impact on me.
It can't, because you have no regard for your wife, so you want to question up on people. It has nothing to do with you. Go. Angie Mama, please send me a copy of that.
I'm gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon.
All right, folks, just brought to the program Spoon Talk right here on Spoon 107.5 FM, Fabric 101.1 FM, and Super FM 95.5. We've also been live on Spoon TV Live on Facebook, Fabric TV Live on Facebook, and Super TV Live on Facebook. And the team gonna be back here, by God grace, tomorrow with another blessed edition of the program Spoon Talk. My name is Prince Hamon, DJ Magic Fingers. Have yourself a wonderful, God bless night from my end. Bye bye.
Tuto smooth. If you eat keep on gradually, my brother, tuto smooth. You got a Spoon TV, you got a Spoon Radio, tuto smooth. Tuto smooth. Rastafari.
She said I got this.
Kilibamba, 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 kilibamba. What I want? Yes, I do, but